How's everybody this fine Sunday? How's everybody this fine Sunday? Uh-oh. Turn that off. How's everybody this fine? So we are in week 3, competition training. My last conditioning week. Then I will be starting an insane program, a 6-week. Who do we got here? What's up? EKM and Absent. What's up? Yeah, my garage is a mess, dude. I need to empty the whole thing and got it. But my wife is recovering from surgery, and I have been lazy. I had a whole week off, and I was supposed to change the kitchen sink and the faucet. Actually, I've got all the stuff to replace the bathrooms. I got faucets. I got a ton of stuff I need to do. I did manage to. I got some of the work done. Dropped a dumbbell in a big dust plume. Yeah. So you're starving. You're on a 2,000 calorie limit. So you're cutting down to 140. Holy shit. Hey, baby. Wife's in the chat. Everybody say hi to her. So we're starting a kind of new thing. She's on, my wife's on Instagram and Facebook, and she's in a couple of women's group. And they are centered around hormone replacement therapy, or TRT, if you will, for women. So hopefully we'll, and I tell you what, you think that men's talk about PED use is like ignorant? It is really bad with the women. Holy crap. I thought the men were bad. Stage weight is 140 to 150. I guess weight, the way I look at weight classes, it's like, what is easy for you to maintain? You know, like for me, the reason I picked 220 is because I don't have to diet and I don't have to do anything drastic to stay at 220, and my body just wants to be there. I could easily bulk up to 260, 270. I could look like a big old molar, you know. But then I would have to carry all that weight around. Are you from OKC? No, sir. Gage, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I did spend some time in Oklahoma, though, way back in the day, 1995. I was in Fort Sill for about 6 months. Talk about exciting. Well, you want to talk about a state where there is literally nothing to do. Patricia, what is this about? I'm a powerlifter, and I'm training for competition, and I guess people like to talk to me. They find me amusing. I'm your monkey boy. You ask me a question, I'll answer it. It could be just about anything. We talk about everything on this channel. I work out, and we talk. Yeah, some people like it. Can you show me some muscles? I guess. I'm not really a bodybuilder, but I'd say for a 50-year-old, I'm not in the worst shape either. I'm a powerlifter, so for me it's all about how much can you lift for one rep. And we do have some bodybuilders, and my moderators are bodybuilders. Eric, what's up, man? I appreciate that. Speaking of which, and I do try to answer everybody. I try my hardest to engage every single person that messages me. Speaking of which, EKM, no offense, but in your video, time to bulk to 200. You're in competition and you don't look jacked at all. How does that work? You know, he's young, and I think he's doing pretty good for a bodybuilder at the age of 17. I think he's doing outstanding. But I think that's a conversation you guys should have off chat, because that's now you getting personal. You know what I mean? Take off the shirt. No, for that you got to pay me. I'm not a stripper. Body beatdown. What's up? Body beatdown. Gen X, world's strongest Marine, and others. There's another gentleman over the age of 50 who's getting it done. He's got a big bench. The people in my signal were saying some weird ass shit. You know what? I haven't been online. I haven't been with my wife recovering from surgery. Yesterday I was sick and I slept all day. I have not checked my messages. Unfortunately, I'm just behind, guys. Like, I literally, like, I found a window to where I could stream for a couple hours, and I just got online. I haven't checked my messages, and I'm really sorry. Patricia Comedy King. I'm a boy. Missing some context here. Biggest Dickus. That's a great name. Can you pretend you're holding a salt shaker and shake some salt in your mouth? Geez, I could. I guess I could break out the dildo or a banana or something. John from Newfoundland. Did you say Newfoundland or Newfoundland? Well, welcome. That's my mom's accent. Or count. That's my mom's account. Okay. So we got, I guess if we have people that are underage in the chat, let's just keep mindful of that, guys, all right? I was doing my own prep at 17 and everything, bro, so don't be like that. Yeah, okay, you guys are having a personal conversation about your training. Any absent Jarl? I'm still not on Signal. You haven't been given an invite? EKM, how did you get, I still don't even know how to send the invites out. Is it by phone number or do I need to send a code out? Help me out with that, will you? Biggest Dickus is a reference from Monty Python, in case anybody's wondering. And that's showing how old I am. Well, you say just a question, no offense, but like, I would have got a little defensive of that question. I'd been like, damn, dude, call me out in front of everybody? Shit. Jarl, when are you joining the group chat on Signal? JT. He was just asking about that. I didn't realize that he wasn't sent an invitation. So I apologize for that. How many hours did your form take? How many hours did your form take? I don't understand the question. That's Sirhat. Maybe you could help me out with some context. You have to send a code out. But to whom? Where do I send it to? Whenever somebody helps me with Signal JT, I can't make heads or tails of it. Well, so I know I can send you a code to a phone number, right? But I'm not going to put my phone number on YouTube. So I guess like maybe we need to talk on Instagram or something. Know about Monty Python via YouTube. Nice. Oh yeah, Ego Lift. Of course. Yeah, you know Monty Python. Yeah, they're back. Wait, it was late 60s, early 70s, maybe 80s. They went for a long time. Bit of New Year motivation. Cabbage. Well, you know what? Every time I try to think of something profound to say, my brain just clicks off. We're all gonna do good this year, boys. If the drones don't end the world and Trump makes it into office, I think we're going to be okay. I think Trump made a mistake by coming out after he got elected and saying all the shit he was going to do. I would have kept that a secret and just waited till I got in. Oh, we got a deleted message already. Let's see what we got. Steroid head, what up? What's up, brother? Let's see. Before long, you'll be back to normal. Yeah, she's doing really good, brother. She's up and moving around. She's doing really, really well. Uh, let's see. Joker, you're a clever guy. Wow. Come on, dude. You gotta do better than that. Like, you gotta at least try to be funny. I mean, do you think you're gonna? I mean, like, did you read my pinned comment? If you did, you would know that I have never claimed to be natural, and I don't really care if people know about it. You're not hurting my feelings. I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. You're a weird guy. Do I believe in Jesus? Yes, I do. Rick and Morty. Yeah, I like the last. I don't know. Like, the newer stuff's kind of yeah, take it or leave it. But yeah, I do like Rick and Morty. That's no, Joker's fine. I don't care about the comments. He's just not funny. You know, we hope that if you're gonna troll, you could be clever at least. You know, give us something to laugh at. Uh, using the Wolverine stack as well as a tens unit. Oh yeah, she's we have her on peptides as part of the healing process. I don't know if you guys were around when I blew my shoulder out in 2022, right before IPL Worlds. I used BPC 157 and TB 500, and for about 2 weeks, and it was either that or drop out of the competition. And it didn't heal my shoulder totally, but it got me to where I could do a 350-pound bench. And then I made up for the numbers with my deadlift and my squat, and I was still able to get a silver medal out of it, so it wasn't a total wash. Obviously, I didn't do as good as I wanted to, but what kind of live streams do you generally do? JD, you're looking at them, brother. Are you excited for Minecraft 2? Yeah, my daughter's in there playing. Yeah, we play Minecraft right now. Amen. What denomination? I don't have a denomination. I actually believe that most religions have it wrong, but that's not something I generally go into when I'm on streaming my training. I'm not a very religious person. I do study the Bible, though. Let's see. Van Damme, in all caps, your God planned his own son's death by his own creation to save humanity from the wrath of himself, and he's laughing. Well, not quite that simple. There's a little more lore to it. I mean, actually, not even that's right, really. So you're kind of maybe displaying a little bit of ignorance, but we forgive that because this is a lifting channel, so we don't really talk about religion here. 1, 2, 3 was peak. Leandro, greetings from Oslo. Oh, right on. Hell yeah, man. You did your first live yesterday. How did that go, brother? Michael Hillman, any advice for a young buck experience life by himself, moving out and experiencing the world? So you're moving out. Are you living at home right now? What are your plans? What are you going to get into? Message was held for review. Let's take a look. Ligma. How many years have you been working out? Why would YouTube block that? Ligma. I don't know why YouTube blocked that, but I've been training heavy for about 10 years. I'm going to show that message. Yeah, like Marine stands for my ass rides in Navy equipment. Get it. Wow, never heard that one before. But we are Department of the Navy. Who wants a fist fight in the cage, 1 versus 1? Deutscher. Oh man, we got some winners in the chat today. OP, what's up? Hey man, I appreciate it. Is a 20 cal dumbbell curl good for twig arms? I would think so. I don't curl with that much usually. I don't really normally do curls though, to be honest with you. Because he said ho. Is that why I blocked it? In all caps again, Van Damme. At least you read my comment. Thank you, brother. You're welcome. No, look. I study the Bible and I have my beliefs. I'm I don't really get into it on YouTube very much. Um, but if I was going to tell you that I completely understood the Trinity or why God had to send his only son to die for us, I mean, I kind of understand that. Oh, see, we could get into it because we could have long discussions, and like we do, but just usually not here because there's so much context you have to get into before you can get in. It's like the one thing you brought up. There's a whole lot of things you would have to discuss before we even started talking about that part of it, if that makes sense. Uh, Someone asked why your gut stuck out and you shit and EKM muted them. Oh, okay. I don't know. Probably because I'm 50 years old and I'm bloated. But thanks. Thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate it. Climate change real? Yeah, climate change is real. I mean, like, there's a cycle of not do I believe. That's such like that's another question. That's like it's either all or nothing with ideologically possessed idiots that either believe one thing, and if you have and there's no room for a nuanced discussion, and if you don't believe that, then you're anti-science, except for the people that scream anti-science have never picked up a fucking science book in their lives. So it's almost like you're people that went to school arguing with I don't know. That's another one I stay away from. That's a very complex question. Yes, climate change is very real. Any idiot can tell that the last 2 summers in Vegas have been the hottest since I've been here, and I've been here since 2003. Now you can go back in the record books and see that there was hotter summers before I moved out here. So, is it a cycle? Is it a correlation? I don't know. I know that there's been a lot more storms lately, or are they televising them more? I don't know. Like I would have to go back and look at a whole lot of data before I could pin something on one thing specifically. It's a very complex question, but I will say that uh, electric cars are not going to change anything. That I can say for sure. If anything, you have more of a higher carbon footprint from buying a Tesla than you would buying a Chevy, just because of the rape of the earth and everything that goes into making lithium batteries. Michael Hellman, I'm doing well with work and planning on moving to Nevada from Florida, transferring from Home Depot store to continue work. New relationship 1 year, just wanting to expect the unexpected. When you coming to Vegas? That's where I live. Well, maybe we can help each other out. Maggie, nothing wrong with being a Christian and not knowing what the fuck's going on in the Bible sometimes. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie bails me out. JT, Middle East Beast isn't for Gen X. He's still spouting the 33rd of the Pentagon. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that guy. But I do. I mean, I like you, dude. You're cool. But I don't, like, pay attention to, like, that weird shit you spout. I hope you don't take offense to that. Is there anything I can eat or drink to empty my bloated intestines? Well, I would start with fasting. Usually when I get bloated or my gut sticks out a little, I'll do an 18-hour fast and see if that solves the problem. You can take milk of magnesium. That generally will empty you out pretty good. All right, let me actually do some exercises. Normally the chat doesn't kick off like it did today. So what are we doing today? We're going to do some incline bench, and since I'm doing I'm still in my last week of my conditioning block, so I'm going for higher reps. We're like sets of 100. What's up, chickens? Chickens are on the side of the house. They're trying to come in the garage again. So when I say incline, I'm just going to put these 4-inch blocks under the bench. That's all the incline you need. Otherwise, what'll happen is you start losing some of the specificity from the sport of powerlifting, because I want this to translate to my bench. So I'm going to use this Camber bar, which has a 4-inch camber in it. If you see where my finger is here, that extends the range of motion, so that provides a stretch. And then with the 4-inch incline, that increases the range of motion and degree of difficulty for the lift significantly. But it's really nice because it really conditions your shoulders, and it'll translate to your flat bench really, really nicely. All right, where are we at here? My comments blocked up. Van Dam, you're welcome, brother. I'm glad you stuck around. I thought I was going to chase you off. Better for shoulder pain, Dylan. Yes, but the thing is, see, I use these to fix my shoulders when I blew my shoulder out. But you got to start really, really light and slow. As a matter of fact, I would suggest with the barbell. Because really what we're focusing more on anything when we're doing physical therapy is the stretch itself. So you can see where my elbows are. If it was just the barbell, my elbows would be up here. But with this camber, it stretches it just a little bit more. And now, normally when I'm pressing off the bench for competition, the barbell's right about where the solar plexus is, and I'm going to push off. With this, I want to come up the chest a little, which is going to flare my elbows just a hair, but that stretches the pectoral muscles out, so I'm splitting the difference between my solar plexus and my chin. And anytime you put yourself in a compromised position like that, you want to take it nice and slow. You can even do what's called lengthened partials, which is this movement right here. So this is this. If you rush this movement, you can injure yourself. But if you take it slow and do this for a few weeks and get some nice repetitions in, it will bulletproof your shoulders, and it'll make you resilient to injury. I've had so many people say, oh, you're going to blow your shoulders out doing that. And I look at them like they're idiots, because this is literally what I use to rehab. See, I don't even have any weight on the bar, and I can already feel that stretch all the way at the bottom. Now, for all you bodybuilders out there, you get the most hypertrophy from a stretch. So anything you can use to stretch your pectoral muscles, whether it's dumbbells, cable flies, you get that good stretch in, that's going to help you grow your boobies. Where are we at here? Veyron, what do you say here? I missed his. Knowing how to drive a car yourself will be a lost skill. People in the future will be completely lose their autonomy. Veyron 43, I missed the comments, so I hate those pec tear videos. Scares me to go heavy. Oh, Mally 16. Well, here's something that food for thought. Almost every single pec tear I've ever seen are from enhanced lifters, people that are on PEDs. You almost never ever see a pec tear from a natural lifter. And the reason why is because when people are enhanced, their muscles get much stronger, much faster than their tendons. So if you don't do the work and strengthen your tendons, you do risk you have a higher risk of a tear, because your muscles are getting so much stronger that they're, outpacing the rest of the connective tissue. So that's really why you want to spend time and this is why we do these conditioning blocks, where it's more high rep, lower weight. But, it's just something to consider. You start lifting in a compromised position, and that's your starting point, lightweight. And you won't have the problems that people that ego lift like I used to do. You should just go heavy all the time, didn't really care about range of motion or any of that shit. And then you wind up wonder why you're blowing out, shoulders and stuff like that. And then the other side of that equation is the actual physical therapy. Like, what are you doing to prevent the problem from happening again? That's why you see so many of these guys my age that can bench more than me, 450, 500 pounds, but they can't lift their arm over their head, or they can't, you know what I mean? They have no range of motion. Buff Andy Circus. I haven't heard that one before. Simone's, I mean, I shaved and everything. Man, I guess I'm just an ugly motherfucker. I don't really know how Signal works, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't really care for the app myself. It was actually Hans and Matt C that invited me to Signal, and I had to figure out how to use it. And now I'm trying to get everybody else on it, and it's like it's been a pain in the butt. Molia El Pizzalio. I guess you're laughing at me. I appreciate that. What's the best stack for an 11-year-old? Try Jenga. Have you ever messed around with Mace clubs or Mace balls? Great for your ligaments and flexibility. Yeah. Yes, I have. I actually really like those types of workouts. I don't own any of that equipment. But we used to do it with sledgehammers. We just swing the sledgehammer around like that. Yeah, I think those are the club workouts are really good. The only reason why I don't mess around with the clubs and stuff like that is because when it comes to the sport of powerlifting, it's kind of a specificity thing. See, that's a bad argument. Actually, now that I think about it, I really should invest in a set of those. That would be really good. I've just recently been looking into Mace clubs. Nick at Night. Yeah, it got me thinking. That actually might be a good investment. That might be something I should. It's just like kettlebells. They see your red, white, and blue washed out. Yeah, that's an old flag. I got a new one put up in the yard. You remind me of Andy Serkis in Avengers: Age of Ultron. I don't know if that's a compliment, but I appreciate it. Rose says, WTF? I ask that question every day. Let's see here. Okay. Grandpa, thank you. Do I look that old? Okay. Can I have an honest reason why you like powerlifting versus bodybuilding? Um, yeah, well, bodybuilding to me is a beauty pageant. Like I'm gonna starve myself to the point where I'm unhealthy. I have to take a mountain of steroids, and then for what? To see who looks best in a banana hammock while wearing fake tan. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate everything that goes into bodybuilding, but it's literally a beauty pageant. And then you're doing a posing on stage, and you got a bunch of judges, and it's just, I don't know. Powerlifting, it's like visceral. It's raw. It's like, who can go pick that shit up? Who's the strongest? Who can pick this weight up? Like, that's just like, that's built in man shit right there. Lumberjack competitions to see who can take a chainsaw and chop this log up quicker than the other guy while wearing spikes and climbing up a pole. His strong man is like, who can chuck this piano into the wilderness, pick this car up and move it. It's just it's a visceral raw strength competition. But that's no hate. Don't get me wrong. No hate on bodybuilders. Let's see here. I think you just got to hit the link of either my profile or you can type absent 16 on Signal to find me. I will make an effort to find you after I get off the stream, brother. Let me see. Jake Levine. He's asking about my hair. I don't know. What are you asking? Oh, the red, white, and blues washed out. Yes. Okay. I'm not that quick on the uptake. Yeah, I didn't think it was any left in there. I got a little red, a little blue, a little white. It's growing out. Yeah, good. I'm with you. We're on the same page. Huge ass. That's a great name. LOL, Maggie is about to crash out. Somebody deleted that. I'm not sure why. Maggie's about to crash out. Oh, Maggie talking shit about my flag. I wouldn't recommend that. Hey, I'm with her on that one. But they were talking about my hair. Everybody, we're all friends here. Come on now. How many chest press can you make, bro? All of them? I don't know. Does having good cardio help your lifts? Not a little, not even the smallest amount. No, I'll say it helps with training. Like when you're doing AMRAPs, taking sets to failure, that can really knock the wind out of you, especially if you're going like all out. Like if I take like a set, like what was it, 2 days ago or yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago. I did 495 for a set of 9. I was going for 10. And at the end of that, I was out of breath for like it was like I did 3 rounds of boxing. So you know when you're going all out on AMRAPs, being able to, but I haven't noticed that if I lift really heavy, I'm not winded at all. But we also train Muay Thai and boxing and things like that, so that's what you really need the cardio for. And I found that having good cardio is also helpful, like when I want to spend some time with my wife. You know, you want to be able to go a few rounds there too. What's up, Skinny? Not much, Mo. How you doing? Oh, you just reminded me, Mo. My good friend Moses should be in town tonight. I need to call them. Can you shout out my buddy Alex Savage? Focused on posing, ego lift. Yeah, you're talking about bodybuilding. I think the posing's hard. Like posing is difficult. I don't know. I just don't. It's just not that much fun for me. I mean, like you're literally telling yourself you're starving yourself right now, right? You're cutting down to 2,000 calories, and you got to get to what 3-4% body fat to have any chance of winning a show. I would imagine, based on personal experience. Like, who would want to do that to themselves? Like, that's crazy. But that doesn't mean I think any less of you or that I have a problem with the sport or I don't like it. I just don't have that kind of personal drive and discipline to want to do that to myself. Trenio todos os dias. Triano todos os dias. Leo, what's up? Jake is asking Jake, what's a good source of protein? Eggs. Yeah, man. We have chickens, so we eat eggs and lots of eggs. Red meat. Hell yeah. Meat, eggs, fish. So you want to fight your wife? Yes. When she gets healthy, yeah, we'll throw the pads on and we'll go at it. You guys will see. My wife's got a mean left, and I mean a mean left. She can knock a dude out with that if she hits him right. The Beast, what's up, brother? I got on that TRT, finally pumped. So you just got on TRT, Justin? How old are you, Sanu? I'm 50. Bodybuilding down to 10, 12 would be much better. Profit fear. Yeah, dude, I mean, I don't know how long you've been following along, brother, but the question they asked is why I prefer powerlifting over bodybuilding. Christina, these people would drive me nuts if I were you. Maggie. Yeah, they do. I'm training to fight a kangaroo. Got any Armenian friends? I actually do. Hyper URAN, Uranian, Hyper Uranian. I do. I actually have more than a handful out here in Vegas. I work with a bunch of people that are Armenian. Do you recommend anything to go with TRT, Justin? I can't say that I do. I mean, it depends on what your goals are. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish, but if you just got on testosterone, I would consider just like sticking with that for a while, because when I first went on TRT, just TRT, nothing more, I put on I want to say about 8 pounds of lean muscle mass in 6 to 8 months, something like that. It was a pretty considerable amount, and I leaned out pretty well too. I mean, just on that, and like anything else, that'll plateau, and then it becomes, you'll find your body will find an equilibrium. Then you have the same issues that everybody else has. Do you recommend, let's see, Caju, pasta, peanuts, milk, fruits, very good protein. Caju pasta. What is that made out of? I'm going to say Ritesh. Is that how you say that? What is that pasta made out of? There's a lot of people that can't tolerate nuts. Like there's a joke in there somewhere. They can't tolerate nuts in their mouth, but no, they have. There's people that can't eat peanuts or they don't have good reactions to it. Different kinds of nuts, not just peanuts. So you have to. Milk is dairy, so that's whey protein. Fruits, I'm not sure what fruits have good protein, but and me, my man, hyper Uranian, my man. Maggie, I hope you recover as quick as possible. She's doing really well. She's coming along quickly. Io Gyodo. Oh, my chat disappeared. Okay. Ha! Fortnite STW items. Jesus isn't real. You guys don't have to block that. I mean, it's probably a bot anyways. Message deleted. Let's see what this one is. Jesus loves you. You telling me or are you telling Fortnite? He'd like you guys a whole lot better if you were working out instead of talking shit in my stream. Let's see. So when I stay on TRT, my body gets used to it. Well, yeah, think about it. So your doctor's going to prescribe you whatever the concoction is. So at first, it's exogenous hormones added to your body, and it's something new, and you're going to get some good results from that, especially if you were low to begin with. You're replacing, and you're going to now be at a certain level. Well, once you've built up to that level, you're going to plateau because that's your new normal. That is your new baseline. So you can't expect to have at that point, you're going to have the same reasonable ability to gain as anybody else because that's what you're on. That's your new normal. Once you get to that point, if you're, you could train hard and do everything just the way a natural lifter would, and you'll get gains pretty approximately along the same lines as a natural lifter at that point. After you get that first spurt of gains that you get from TRT, yeah, that's going to plateau just like everything else. And I would suggest that most men just stay on that and train and be healthy and live a long, prosperous life, and that's good to go. But, if you're trying to do something like power lift or bodybuild or, whatever, I mean, yeah, there's at that point you can talk about adding to the mix, but I don't advocate for that. Unspoken majority, combat vet. Yes, technically, but I was artillery. Maggie, why would Jesus love you get deleted? I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. Jesus is spamming the chat. Well, we don't want our chat to turn into a religious forum, but I don't necessarily have a problem with it either. If Jesus were on TRT, maybe he wouldn't have dragged the cross across the floor and scratched it up. Ego lift daily. I just sub to you. Awesome. Molly Drennan, how much does it cost to have your levels checked and get TRT? I think is what you're trying to say. It depends. Depends if your insurance covers it or not. So we go to what is it? Helix HRT is a website you can go to in their clinic, and they'll assess you. I think for me it costs for everything for the first month it was like $500. But your insurance can very well cover it. And then usually like the cost of after that's between $100 and $200 a month, depending on what they prescribe you. And that's just what I've seen. I mean, I'm sure some could be more, some could be less. Now the clinic we go through is I would call it a high-end clinic, and they cater mostly to strength athletes and bodybuilders. So, what am I trying to say? Your experiences might vary as to what is available depending on the clinic you go to. Take trend the day before competition. I'm not sure what that would do for you, Eric. Let's see what does Eric look like here. Go to channel. Yeah, all right. Let's see here. If Jesus were on TRT, he would have pressed the cross for reps. I think we're crossing our line into blasphemy here. Thanks, bro. EKM, I'm glad I heard Charlie mention your comment. I was not reading. J. Fred, what's up, my man? How you doing? Molly, cool, thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, so I'm actually giving you the clinic me and my wife both use, Helix HRT. They've been hounding me. I got to get blood work done. All right, let's do a set. Hey, Don. When you get a minute, the chickens are in the garage. You guys want the heater on? There you go. Green Acres is the place for me. Let's see the camera here. I don't know if you can see. Right down here. Oops. I think I just broke my camera stand. Wait. I got chickens running around my garage. Oh, crap. There we go. So, sorry about that. Come here, Al. Just hanging out. Chickens just coming through the side gate. They're hanging out by my heater. There we go. Where are you going? Yeah.
So where do you need me? Ah, I see.
You want to bring our new ones in?
In here?
Sure.
Can I shut the garage?
Yeah, I prefer you did. Close it. Hit the button. There you go. All right.
There.
Now stop it. Hit the button.
I'm gonna watch the babies.
Wait. Go. All right, hit it now.
Okay.
We're
Come on.
blocking the sensor.
At least I want the chickadees out.
They're fine as long as the garage door is closed.
Well, I'm gonna go out this way.
Okay.
Keep them little babies.
What are their names? Those two are Olive and Pepper. You left the gate open. How many chickens are in a whole? Oh, how many calories are in a whole chicken? I guess that depends on the breed. I would think an Americana would probably be 2,000, where a Bantam might only be like 600-700. How cold is it where you are? Right now, not too bad. It's like 49. 15 degrees in New York. Dying. Here, entertain them real quick. I'm gonna get my coffee.
And yes, this is the chicken. It's a featherless chicken because it's covered in fur.
Well, it's down.
It feels like fur. It's so fluffy. And I've got little hats. So this is Plum. Raisin's still in the backyard. No, I think this is Raisin. I need to set you down real quick. You are Raisin. Hi, Raisin. So I was wrong. This one's Raisin.
I closed the gate, okay?
Okay. And yes, they're so fluffy.
I closed the gate.
Really? Okay. And these are they're awesome.
It's fun to watch these little guys run around because they hop around.
And they're pretty, sometimes they're hard to catch because they're fast, pretty fast. Except when I'm bad.
Raisin or Plum?
Raisin. She's got the little itty bitty comb. I love their butts. So fluffy.
They are little fluffers.
They're so fluffy.
Chicken with the Ben Wallace afro.
Actually,
I know exactly who Ben Wallace is.
They have hats. There's another chicken breed, the
You
Polish.
eat toenails
and they
for
have
breakfast. Do you eat toenails for breakfast?
No. I ate cheese for breakfast today. Cheese and milk.
Yeah, well, that one motivated guy. What's up, brother?
Coming.
Mark Applier.
Wait, what?
Fuzzy chicken. Watch my drink. Don't kick it over.
Wait, where'd you say milk go for?
All right. Let's go Eagles.
Who did it say Markiplier?
I don't know. All right. Why? What's Markiplier?
A really, really famous YouTuber.
Well, then he's a really famous YouTuber.
Yeah. Come on.
My daughter got that reference. I didn't.
Oh, I did.
How sad is that? Put me on your psycho dog. I don't think what I take would do any good for you. I'm barely on more than you would get from a doctor prescribed. Now we get closer to competition, that'll change. Charles in charge. What's up, Freshly Wild? What's up? How you doing? When are you gonna eat your chicken's protein? What would I need to do that for? I can eat my dog too. I have turtles. Use a pre-workout still. I kind of do, yeah. So I got this concoction. It's got vitamin B3, which is niacin, L-citrulline, arginine, NAC, NAD, something else. But anyway, a bunch of vasodilators. They call it the pump mix. And then I drink lots of coffee. Oh, I knew you were joking. You know, chicken. Yeah, we can't eat the chickens. We've named them all. They're family. All 20 of them too. All 20 of them have names. Markiplier is a popular YouTube content creator. I knew the name. I just couldn't figure out where it was. PewDiePie I know very well. I don't watch them, but I watch the internet. Yeah, PewDiePie. I loved watching his stuff, and actually, he's in pretty good shape. Protect the turtles. We got turtles too. Thoughts on fiber while bulking? I don't know why that got deleted. I was going to actually seriously answer that question. Well, see, that's the thing is I don't really bulk though. I've been the same weight class for like 10 years. I don't really need to bulk or cut. I mean, if I'm getting too heavy before competition, I'll do a water cut and I'll drop that weight and then weigh in and go. But I just kind of stay around the same weight. You should name them dinner. I've been watching these Mike Mentzer videos saying I should take a lot more time off in between workouts. How often do you work out? Let's talk about Mike Mentzer for a minute. Mike Mentzer, I follow a lot of Mike Mentzer's principles in that I do believe in one working set to failure, and that can be good for a certain period of time. You know, I tried doing the Mike Mentzer style training for 3 years straight. A little over 2 years, and it worked great until it didn't. Because it's an incomplete training picture. Now, what he's talking about specifically, and there's research you can look at. You can go on PubMed and look stuff. Some of these like peer-reviewed actual research on recovery. And what they found generally for most people, or for the test subjects, is if you take muscle to absolute failure, meaning you go all out, you give 100% of what you can to a lift, it takes about 9 days to recover. So, what does that mean? What is the implications of that? If you don't wait 9 days and you start going max or start training again, you are cutting into your recovery time, meaning you are now working muscles that have not fully recovered. And just think of your muscles like a bank account, and you just keep chipping away at that recovery time until now you're risking injury, or even worse, you're starting to lose muscle strength. So for most people, they'll never train hard enough to even worry about that. But for serious athletes that are seriously taking heavy AMRAPs to failure to where you can't walk the next day, you really should be putting about a week in between those training periods before you attempt to do that again. So that's what Mike Mentzer's talking about. Now, does that mean you can't train for 7 days? No, it means you got to focus on a different muscle group, which is why we do splits. I'm going to do squats on Monday. I'm not going to squat heavy again until next Monday. That's 7 days. Well, Wednesday I'll do bench, Friday I do deadlift, and then we see now where Mike's got an incomplete picture. It's like the school of thought is it's either all volume or all intensity, and there's no room, one or the other. You pick a side. Democrat, Republican, leftist, conservative. It's all or nothing. There's no room in the middle for nuance. Really what it is, any good serious athlete that's been doing this for a long time and expects to keep doing it into his 40s, 50s, 60s without suffering major injuries or setbacks is going to do what's called periodization. And essentially all that means is you're going to change things up. I'm not going to train heavy all year round. I'm going to go all out for a competition, and then I'm going to take some time off and have some fun and do some high rep stuff. I'm going to do a conditioning block. I'm going to have a training phase. I'm going to do a peak block before a competition. You know, we switch things up, which is kind of where you get into like the conjugate system or the West Side barbell guys. I mean, they kind of had a lot of that caked into their stuff. I found that there is no one system that has all the answers, and there's something, not everything is all bad and not everything is all good. And the big thing is to stay teachable and understand that you probably don't have all the answers, which is why I defer a lot to experts or people that seem to know more than me, like Prophet Fear, who's in the chat, incidentally. I honestly just found out about lengthened partials. I didn't know that shit until I was 49 years old. I was training for 10 years before I even heard that term. I started following the Renaissance Periodization, Dr. Mike Israetel, and for a second there, I thought that man could do no wrong, and he knew the answer to everything, and then I realized that he's 100% right about anything, and he's got a PhD. I think a lot of us overcomplicate training. Progressive overload. Try to do a little more than you did yesterday. Switch things up every once in a while. You know, for the average person, just get after it. Be disciplined. Don't miss more than 3 days training. Try to go heavier than you did the last time. You're going to get stronger and you're going to look better. The end. And you start getting like up there to where you're maxing out your genetic potential, and now you have to get creative to put 5 more pounds on the barbell. Then we can start talking about Mentzer's principles versus, you know, like the history of Arthur Jones versus, like, you know, we can start really getting into the weeds. The beef between Greg Doucette and Mike Israetel is wild. I know it's hilarious too. I got a PhD, pimpin' hose degree. TJ Butler, I found 250 Sustanon, 200 Primo, and 2 IU of HGH, and I suddenly had muscle 210 to 240. Damn. See, I've never taken HGH. It scares me because I would think you'd want to work with a doctor with that. I'm actually on a real. I am also on Sustanon or something really similar to it. I take 200 of that a week, and I take right now I'm on 100 a week of DHB. But when we get closer to competition, I'm gonna probably add either Anavar or Anadrol into that mix. RP used to be about powerlifting, and then eventually got a lot more focused on bodybuilding. I guess there's more money in bodybuilding, but there's a big carryover. If you look at like the strength charts between high rep and low rep and the hypertrophy that happens at which rep range, there's a big carryover, which is why with a little bit of dieting, you can actually look like a bodybuilder if you're a powerlifter. You know what I mean? And that's also why a lot of bodybuilders are actually strong enough to compete in the sport of powerlifting if they wanted to focus on that. I mean, who is it? Jay Cutler, I saw him repping 405 on the bench like it was nothing. And I'm thinking, if that boy wanted to be a powerlifter, he probably could be. Time to lift, Kayat Goodwin. Are you telling me I should get my next set in? So what did I do, about like 25 reps on that last one? As you can see, I'm not going super heavy. Well, I don't know how heavy I'll go. This is my last conditioning week. So I'm really focusing on getting a nice stretch and bulletproofing the shoulders. So that set I did a stretch. Now what I'm going to do on this next set is the exact same weight, but I'm going to flip that bar around and do like a Spoto press with it. Your programming is so simplistic. Profit, fear. Expound on that. What do you mean? Do you mean like when you? Yeah, like maybe you could help expound on that. Christina Remington, I can't wait to get back in the gym. I'm excited for you. What are those things on your feet, and what happened to your toenails? You've never seen ankle wraps? You telling me you've never seen ankle wraps before? And I painted my toenails. I can't breathe, man. I am I'm horribly congested. Weightlift, don't trip 209. Weightlifting doesn't burn fat. Didn't 5, it was true, but a year, 6 months, I feel like I got the lingering stubborn fat. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say that. I mean, I would agree with you. Like, I don't feel like powerlifting by itself is going to help you reduce fat in any significant way. I mean, it all depends on like how much work you're doing. Calories in, calories out. Basically, if you're consuming or you're burning more than you take in, you're going to lose fat. So, I mean, it helps to kind of know, like, yeah, I would say diet and cardio are going to be your best bet. Weightlifting. But what I tell people most of the time when they're trying to like lose fat is focus more on strength training. Just get big and strong and the rest will take care of itself. Because your body will recompose. God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like, I'm like horribly stuffed up. What is athlete's foot? That's a fungus you get under your toenails or in between your toes, which is like a rash. It could cause jock itch and a bunch of other stuff. If you have athlete's foot, you really want to take care of that. Messi paints his toenails to prevent athlete's foot. I can tell you why I do it, because I have a daughter and we like to paint our toenails. But on top of that, since I started taking Muay Thai, I'm a little self-conscious about my 50-year-old ugly-looking toenails. So I think they look better painted, personally. You might disagree with that. Not true, weightlifting burns calories, and if you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. You just said very simply, T, what I was trying to say. I think I was trying to sound profound, though. You ever had the inside of your toe itch like Satan's balls, if that's athlete's foot? Any apps in Yarl? Yeah, and I think a lot of like, we wear shoes and boots all day long and your feet are sweaty. And then here in the desert, what'll happen is you expose them to air. As soon as I get home, I'm barefoot. And that's when they start itching, when they're drying out. But that's not necessarily athlete's foot. Athlete's foot's a fungus. And if you actually start legitimately getting athlete's foot, your toenails will get thick and yellowy. And your feet will look like they have a rash. And it itches horribly when the air hits them. They'll start scaling and skin will start sloughing off of them. I mean, athlete's foot is really, really nasty stuff. There's a difference between dry skin and athlete's foot. But one can lead to another, so you got to make sure you're taking care of your feet. And, guys like us, we do construction and we're wearing boots all day. I don't think, the human foot wasn't designed to be in construction footwear for 14 to 16 hours a day. So it's just something you got to deal with. And then you go train at a Muay Thai gym where everyone's barefoot. You want to be the old leathery dude with the nasty camels looking feet, you know. Are you okay? That one motivated guy. No, yesterday I was down, man. I slept all day. I was sick. There was something wrong, and today I'm not 100%. I'm still feeling like congested and stuffy and short of breath. But we're getting after it because I got to go to work tomorrow. Little Miss Calisthenics, what's up? I use a bathmate to pump gains. AA. I use a bathmate? Athlete's foot is fungal and it stinks. Yeah. Turmeric will clear you up. Oh, you know what? AA, you're right. I should have put some in my coffee. Matter of fact, I will be right back. Yeah. That was an outstanding idea. It's interactive TV. What's the highest score you've ever bowled, Britt? It wasn't good. 300 is perfect, right? So I know it was above 100. Bowling is not my, I wouldn't call it my specialty. Bathmate is a penis pump. Don't ask me how I know. Hey, yep, hey, get in where you fit in, brother. That's some gay ass shit, bro. EKM. I don't know. Can you assign sexuality to sex toys? I guess if it goes up, depending on ego, use tea tree oil for athlete's foot. You are, yes, Christina. That's why I call her like a dirty hippie, because she's got all these holistic cures for everything, and they work. It pisses me off. I was like, what? How can this one damn tree cure everything? It's like, oh, you got to cut, put tea tree oil on it. You got to zit, put tea tree oil on it. Your tooth's falling out, rub some tea tree on it. What is in this tree? You can't make tea out of it. Don't trip 209. If you stay in a low-calorie deficit by dieting and weightlift only, what will the result be? If you stay in a low-calorie deficit by dieting and weightlift only, will you stay the same mass-wise or become shredded? If you're in a calorie deficit, you're just going to lose weight, period. Your body's going to eventually turn catabolic and you're going to lose muscle mass. That's why I don't bulk and I don't diet. I basically know my daily caloric intake needs, which is for me right around 3,500. I know if I add a couple hundred calories a day, I'll start trending up. And if I cut a couple hundred calories a day, I'll start trending down. Slowly but surely, by the end of the week, I'll lose 1 or 2 pounds or gain 1 or 2 pounds. So I'm not bulking, I'm not putting on a ton of fat, and I'm not killing myself to diet either. And that's what I suggest most people should do once they get to a weight they're comfortable with, is know what your body uses. Keep track of your food. You already know. You already know what you need to eat to survive. You know how I know this? Because you woke up today probably about the same weight you did yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. Unless you're putting on 5-10 pounds a week because you're cramming yourself full of bear claws every day. And there are people that have bad eating habits and eating disorders. And yes, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the average Joe knows already what he needs to survive. So you just need to total the food you're eating, write everything down on a piece of paper for 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Get an idea of what your calories are. And then from there, if you want to lose a little bit of weight, start subtracting ingredients. Get rid of the mayonnaise on your sandwich or the creamer in your coffee or cut out soda. whatever. Same thing if you want to gain weight, just start adding things, you know. Maybe add a extra portion on your meal at dinner time, or have the whole sandwich instead of the half. You know, like, we don't need to get big and fat to bulk, and you don't need to kill yourself to diet. Now, this is again speaking for the average person. People that have eating disorders or need to lose a huge amount of weight, or they are bulking and they need to cut. That's different. That's not the average person. Most guys use bathmate to impress the woman. I'm going to look into this. My wife tells me she's happy with me the way I am, so maybe I'll just leave that alone, but I am curious as to what it is. Let's see. You should try 80 to 100 kilogram power twister. I got one from Amazon. That sounds like a good time. I thought it was a pump for dysfunction. I've got everything to talk about but weightlifting. Right? Hey, we're entertaining, though. Joker, the guy called me a dork. I mean, I'm just saying facts, and you're too slow for cardio. You gas out quick. You're not ready for war. Who are you talking to, Joker? This I'd love to hear. If he's talking about me, I train Muay Thai. Like, I'm wearing the shirt of the gym I go to. I can go 3 solid rounds easy. Dude, hey, I'd love to get you in the ring, and we'll see who gasses out first. I guarantee you it won't be me. I'm a little stuffed up. Okay. Luke 923. Thank you for your service, Devil Dog. Hell yeah, Semper Fi, brother. The guy. Okay. I mean, like, Jesus. The Beddish guy who's, okay, so someone else called you a dork. Okay, I apologize. But there's nothing wrong with that. We are dorks. I have erectile overfunction. It's terrible because my salary is shit. I love you guys. I know what ED is. I just didn't know what we were talking about. Jarl. Yeah, that muscle mass not going to help you. Actually, I disagree with that. Now, we could talk about that. What do they say? Like, big, strong guy doesn't mean you can fight. You don't know how to throw a punch. Yeah, but what if you do know how to throw a punch? It helps a lot. I guarantee you, if Eddie Hall slaps you upside the head with the minimal amount of training that he's had here since he's been training at the UFC Fight Center, that muscle mass is going to help him a lot. So that's a myth. The myth is muscle mass doesn't make fighters. 100% true. You can be the biggest dude in the gym, not know how to throw a punch, you get your ass beat by somebody that has even a minor amount of training. This is true. But what happens when you train and you're big? I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you, brother. I don't think I'm too slow for you. You could actually go on my playlist and watch some of my videos. I bet I would surprise you. Actually, I will say you're probably right, though, because at 220, I am a lot slower than I would be when I'm at 198. And I think after this powerlifting competition in March, I'm tossing up cutting down a weight class just to get a little more speed. Because I have noticed, like, since I've been training at this gym, it's not that I'm too slow, but I feel slow. I feel sluggish. Like, when I'm kicking the bag, it feels like my legs are like they're in molasses, if that makes sense. Let's see. Muscle isn't everything. Technique. Combine that with power and precision, and you won't need to hit someone just as hard at the right spot, and they will go down. Yeah, and Damien, just so to be clear, I 100% agree with you. Muscle does not make fighters at all. We know this. But if you, how do I say this? If you were a good fighter and you got stronger, it's going to make you better. Just like doing heavy ass squats, you can squat 600 pounds. The leg drive you're going to get from that is insane compared to somebody who doesn't train squats. Look at Mike Tyson. You know, he's just he's a perfect example. I mean, there's a reason why guys strength train, but you know, we're talking about specificity, like what movements are going to help you strike harder. You know, but everything's relative. It's such a people are so ignorant because they believe either 100% one thing or 100% the other, and they don't look at the carryover or crossover. It's like, why do athletes train at all? You know, if nothing helps nothing, then why even do it? If nothing's going to make you better at doing something than doing that thing specifically. But to say that getting stronger so that your kinetic chain is improved is not going to help you is completely absurd, because if that was true, nobody would train. Hang in there, give it some more time. No, and if I'm being 100% real, dude, I'm 50 years old. I'm slow as shit. I train with kids that would they're half my size, and they would fucking kill my ass. And we joke about it because we spar, and they call me old man. But I've surprised a couple of them on more than one occasions, and they're like, "Damn, where'd that come from?" I'm like, "You're right, I still got it, baby." Yeah. Bruce Lee wouldn't beat prime Mike Tyson due to muscle mass, but wouldn't you love to see that, just to see what would happen? Like, I have this picture in my head that one of two things would happen. Bruce Lee would run up and hit Mike as hard as he can, right in the chest, and Mike would somehow get hurt, or Mike would just stand there and stare at him and what are you doing, dude? what do you guys think would be the outcome? How do you fight versus Batman go? That fucker's on trend and he runs laps around you. Who's Joker and Batman? Who are we talking about here? Oh, I get Joker and Batman. Yeah, Joker, I don't want to misrepresent myself. Just because I do fight training doesn't mean I consider myself a fighter. I mean, if I got in the ring with somebody that really knew what they were doing, they would batter me unrecognizable. What I am saying is, for a guy that's 50 years old and weighs 220 pounds, I surprise people at how quick I can be, especially if they don't know it's coming. Bruce Lee would armbar Tyson. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're both we're talking prime Bruce Lee and prime Tyson, right? And both of them know who each other are, so they both know when they get in the ring, hey, this guy's like the best martial artist, and Bruce Lee knows, wow, this guy's the best boxer. So there's no mystery. Who wins? Can Bruce Lee even get a hit on him? Would Mike be just clean his clock with one punch because he's got awesome footwork? He knows how to cut corners off. He put him in a corner and just annihilate him, or would Bruce Lee pull some ninja shit out and be able to slip around him and put him in a headlock, or you know what I mean? How would it really play out? Just bite off his ear. We can both agree that the biting Mike was not the prime Mike Tyson. Joker, I'm stupid and slow, but he's still slower, and my reach is small. And this guy's smaller. Japanese wrestler Inoki demolished Ali. Yes, but you could. Okay, I actually know the fight you're talking about. It's classic. Everybody does. I mean, we can both kind of agree that whole thing was kind of absurd. You know, Ali's if nothing, knew how to promote himself. I'm gonna wrestle. I'm gonna fight a wrestler. You know, it was just absurd because. I mean, that whole fight, Inoki never squared up with Ali ever. He just got on the floor and waited for the ground game to begin, and at that point, it's just stupid because Ali didn't have a ground game. He didn't even wear boxing gloves during that match, did he? No, I mean, I'm thinking like, what would really happen if the two of them, like, say, met on a corner they didn't know each other and they were just intended on killing each other for whatever reason. Like, how would that play out? That would be interesting. Bruce Lee wasn't a grappler. I disagree with you. I think he had some, like, I have his book, Tao of Jeet Kune Do, and while he wasn't a wrestler, he had a lot of takedown defense in that book. So I mean, like, if anything, it was a blueprint for mixed martial arts in a lot of ways. But you're right. I wouldn't consider him a grappler. But he definitely knew how to defend himself against grappling. I think we got a couple different conversations going here. So for me, I want to be the one in the cage that's the hunter who's hunting the prey, like how Mike does when he's trying to get into the pocket. Damian McKay. Yeah, so Damian, that's why I think, would you agree with me that the fight that he had with Jake Paul was completely fucking scripted, and if it wasn't, he would have killed him in the first round because I was watching him pull his punches and telegraph. Did you see the same thing I saw, or am I just trying to be old dude, on the side of the old guys? 3 kicks to the head and a second, and Tyson sleeping. I don't know, man. I don't think Bruce could get a kick to the head of Mike Tyson. Like, think about, like, what is the peekaboo? What is your defense? How are you kicking through that? You got to get him to open his defense up to kick him in the head. And Mike's, we're talking prime Mike Tyson. The guy that could, like, clear the void with one swing of the hip and knock a guy out. And then you got Bruce Lee, who's also, I don't know, Bruce Lee, a lot of what he learned and incorporated in film came after he started training with Western martial artists like Chuck Norris. He didn't learn that when he was in Hong Kong. Yes, it was rigged, right? He wanted to throw that mean-ass hook. I saw that look in his eye, right? Damien, thank you. So you're not the only one who saw that. What's the best supplements for testosterone? Quit deleting genuine questions. I apologize if a question got deleted and it should have been. Let me see here. Best supplement for test, McAllis. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Testosterone. Like, if you're suffering from low T due to poor diet, sleep, work, whatever exogenous pressures you're putting on yourself that's causing your hormone profile to not be optimal, let's say, you can correct that. And, with diet and sleep and all that, and you can get testosterone up to a point. And a lot of the supplements may or may not help with that, because a lot of the studies that I've seen, all they do, especially like the new, what's that one that's really popular? It's Nugenics or whatever, starts with an N. They did a study on that, and all it did was block the receptors, the testosterone receptors, so that there was a higher available testosterone blood count. But that meant your body was using less of it, so you were in effect causing low testosterone in your body, if anything. That aside, was it Nugenics? Natural testosterone, we're talking, your body will get to a certain point, and then it's going to create an equilibrium. Your hypothalamus and your kidneys are not going to produce more. You're not going to create a situation where your body produces exogenous hormones. So you can correct low T with diet and sleep and all that to a point, but you're not going to get above what your body naturally will produce genetically. So in order to get above that, there are no supplements that really are proven to work. There's no studies, there's no medical papers, nothing. And a lot of the supplements that you buy at GNC or Walmart or wherever, they're all fucking snake oil and they're bullshit. I always tell people, if you're looking to exceed what your body can naturally produce, just fucking go get testosterone. That's what's guaranteed to work. Now, am I saying you should do that? No. That's between you and your doctor. But I'm saying if you want something that will actually work, just get testosterone and be done with it. Nugenics, thank you, Daniel. Test 600, I'm not familiar with that one. Tactical shenanigans, it did nothing for me. Should protein powder be in our daily diet generally? Druv. No, nothing's better than whole foods, but I mean, what is protein? It's like whey, it's casein, it's definitely stay away from the plant-based. Well, I shouldn't say that. Whey protein is easily absorbed by the body. And because it's byproduct of dairy, there's an abundance of it, and it's easy to get, it's easy to source, and it's just an easy, cheap meal replacement protein that's not going to be any better than for the average person eating eggs or steak or whatever, real food. Is it bad? Is it worse? I think anytime you're taking something that's highly processed and you don't know exactly who made it or what's put in it, you're rolling the dice unless you know for a fact it's really good source. But then what are you paying? You're paying a lot of money for that stuff. I've seen protein powders that cost, $100 a tub. For what? You can just go buy a dozen eggs and, be done with it. Is it bad? No. I think when you're on the go, when you're in a hurry, or you're not hungry, or you're like me, I just don't want to eat, sometimes being able to chug down a protein or whatever, that helps. That you get your calories in for the day, and if I don't want to eat, I could just drink that and be done with it. But it's not something like, I don't waste my money on this stuff. I'm not going to go out and spend hundreds of dollars a month buying protein when I've got 20 chickens in my backyard. I don't think anything's better than real food, but there's nothing wrong with it if you're replacing meals once in a while, or you're just trying to supplement what you're already eating. That was a really long-winded way of saying you should eat mostly foods you can identify. Ronnie Coleman ate steaks and took no steroids. No, I don't even think Ronnie Coleman knew what he was taking. But no, if you recall the Joe Rogan podcast, he basically said that they were. I think Ronnie Coleman was natural for his first couple of shows, and if you go back and look at his physique, him as a natural, and this is now we can get into like how much genetic gifts give someone that's an outlier over the average person, and how much genetics makes up for. Ronnie Coleman is a natural. His first Olympia, he placed 17th as a natural lifter, and I do believe he was natural for that first show. And he placed 17th, his first show, and now he goes on steroids and he becomes the most prolific bodybuilder in history. But he was just a genetic freak. He was an outlier. Like, there's only one Ronnie Coleman. There's only one Michael Jordan, and that's why I don't tell people to emulate or try to follow what I do, because I would consider myself genetically gifted in that I didn't really have to do much to look like this. I was already a fairly stocky guy to begin with. And even if I didn't train, I had a decent amount of muscle mass without training. So for me to get like this wasn't nearly as difficult as, like, say, a skinny person. Or, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I have good muscle insertions. Like, it was just easy I already had that V-taper before I even started training. And some people just aren't blessed with that. But then, I have my other issues where, like I got the diastasis recti with the split in the ab walls, and my gut sticks out, and it's like, God has ways of equalizing all of us, which is another reason why I don't bodybuild, because I'd have to get that fixed. We have huge drone issue with drones in New Jersey's sky. Chocolate cake. Did you see the supposed letter that that guy wrote, and where he was saying that the drones are Chinese, and they're, what did he call them? Gravitic propulsion systems that us in the that only the United States and China have, and they're weapons of mass destruction. I was like, well, there's a rabbit hole you can go down. Mine are pounds and pounds of food every day. It took a pharmacy of gear. Yeah, so Arrowverse. So okay, let's talk about that. You took a ton of gear, right? I don't know how your results were. I barely took anything. People don't believe me. They're like, "Oh, you took a bunch of trend and you're on halo testing and all this shit." And I'm like, "No, I was natural until I was almost 46 years old." So as a 100% natural lifter who already had a decent physique and I had the USPA American records tested. So as a tested lifter, I had the national records already, 1,500 pound total. I go on testosterone and a little bit of gear, and I blow up. I'm a hyper responder. Why? Probably because I was natural my whole life and I never messed with the stuff. So I probably had more androgen receptors than somebody who'd been on gear their whole adult life. I don't know. That's bro science, but possibly. That was Derek, More Plates, More Dates, had a show where he was talking about that. And I was like, that makes sense. So when I tell people I only have to take 200 milligrams of test a week and then maybe 100 milligrams of DHB, or at the time it was Masterone, I think I was taking 200 or 300 milligrams for a while, and I took a little tiny bit of Anavar, and my deadlift went up 100 pounds. People are like, "You're lying. You're a liar. You're on a bunch of other stuff." And I'm like, "I'm not." But my experience, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be your experience because we're all genetically different. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. Next up, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a vegan teenager winning Olympias naturally. You know, you look at young Arnold coming from the Eastern Bloc, where I think they make kids go on steroids right out of the womb. Hard to say, because he was in the army, right? Uh, Larry Wills claims only TRT, which is 100% bullshit. Um, I just watched a video with him where he did a 900-pound deadlift for 3 reps. And he bounced it, but still 900 pounds. Who gives a shit? I mean, you could, whatever, bounce, no bounce, that's 900 pounds for reps. He said he was on TRT and Anavar. And he was comparing that to being on Halo Test and Tren, and what was the other one? There was another one he was on. So, if that's true, could that be possible? Well, yes. So, the reason I say this is because if you have a good base to begin with, and you're super strong, and it can be from a bunch of drugs, because I've done 3 or 4 cycles. 3 or 4, let me think. We'll say 4. We'll go conservative. We'll say 4 cycles I've done. I took just enough to not lose any strength, not necessarily gain, but not lose anything. And I found that, okay, so if before competition I'm on 500 milligrams of test a week for 3 or 4 weeks, and then I bump up Anadrol to 100 milligrams a day for 2 weeks before the show, and I take 150 on game day, which is a lot. That's the most I've ever taken, but that's what I took on competition day. That's a ton for me. And then I'm doing that for about 4 weeks before we slowly ramp up. So right before the show, for a guy that's 50 years old, that's a shit ton of gear in my opinion. After competition, I cut everything back down to just a tiny little bit of test and a little bit of DHB. Well, this is what I found. Just that little bit of DHB added to testosterone, I am still making gains. I can still progress with just that. So I've been riding that out to see how far I can take it. Now, what is my point when it comes to Larry Wheels? Larry might be on just enough Anavar to cover the gap to where he's not losing anything, if that makes sense. He's maintaining his strength, and he's always been like a top-notch, Hall of Fame, once-in-a-lifetime deadlifter. And, there's only one Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels would be up there with Michael Jordan's or your other genetic outliers where they're just supremely gifted. So could he be on what he considers to be a TRT amount? I think what he's doing is he's lying and telling the truth at the same time. Meaning, for him, he's on a tiny amount of gear. But to us, it's still enough where it would be a cycle for the average person. Does that make sense? That's kind of what I think Larry's doing. I think he's gaming it where he wants everyone to believe he's being healthy and he's making the right choices, but he's still on enough stuff where You know, you can't be on Anavar all year round either. You could say it's the most mild steroid, but there's still a limit to, you know, before that stuff becomes getting bad for you too. Somebody just sent me flowers for 30 jewels. Chinchi McPropers. Thank you. Yeah, so does that make sense, Arrowverse? I mean, maybe I've kind of droned on that one because I want people to understand that, like, I don't think Larry's lying per se. I think what he thinks he's doing is reasonable, but in my mind, I was concerned for him simply because he said that he was showing signs of having an enlarged heart already at his age, and I'm like, bro, man, I don't know. That's cutting years and years and years off your life. Like, I monitor my heart daily. That's something I strictly monitor my blood pressure. I mean, if you telling me that, like, if my doctor told me today, bro, you got an enlarged heart, you need to stop what you're doing. I'm done powerlifting. That's it. It's over. So I'm gonna come on YouTube and say we had a nice ride, boys. I want to live to see my kids go to college. You know, I don't have to tell you, but you know, some people are willing. You know, it's kind of like the farther off something is the consequences, the less concerned most people seem to be. Like, you tell a kid, hey, 40 years from now, you're probably going to die. And then, you know, they're 20 years old. And they're like, whatever, man. I don't give a shit. But I'm going to tell you right now, time goes by really goddamn fast. I woke up one day and I'm like, holy fuck, you're 50. When did that happen? What do you think Dwayne Johnson is using? Arrowverse. That is the biggest liar that's ever existed. I actually think Dwayne is literally, not figuratively, a sociopath. I think he is such a narcissistic psycho that, you know, most of these Hollywood guys, we know they're not natural, but they can't come out and say they're on gear. Why? Because it doesn't make sense for them from a financial standpoint to have that black eye. You know, it hurts their ability to find work. You know, somebody explained it to me, but you know, we're talking about illegal drugs. You come out for some reason, it just taints their image, and I can understand why somebody wouldn't be honest. And I think the guy that goes about it right is not who's the Rock's counterpart, the white boy. Good lifter too, really good lifter. I have a lot of respect for him. What's his name? Who's the other wrestler that's in movies? He was in the DC film recently. Anyway, he does it right because he basically says, like, there's no way to tell if I am on it, and you never know if I wasn't, or you know, something along those lines. John Cena, yeah, it's like he never flat out said he wasn't on anything, but he basically said it's a pointless conversation and he's never going to admit to using it. Fair enough. But The Rock he's just one of those guys where he can't lose a fight. He has to be the main character. Even in this latest movie with Santa, he still had to be, you know, I'm just like, the more I see this guy, the more I see like a complete psychotic narcissist on the last grips of where, you know, he's going to lose his hold on Hollywood here because Father Time comes for us all. And the amount of PEDs that man has taken over the years, is beyond absurd. I mean, he had gynecomastia, and he then obviously had the surgery to remove it, and then he's got the audacity to say he's natural. Yeah, okay there, buddy. He's still getting bigger and shredded, even though he's getting older and older. And I don't care. I'm not natural. Get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying? Like, on one hand, I kind of don't. You know, like you look at guys like Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Rock, all these guys, Jason Statham, Mickey Rourke, maybe to some extent. I mean, he messed his face up boxing, but you know, all these guys, their physical attributes are all tied directly to their ability to make money. So, is it really a bad thing that somebody like Sylvester Stallone is not natural? No. I think where it becomes a problem is when they're trying to sell you something. You know, when they're trying to sell you products like supplements or energy drinks or you know, just things of that nature. And there is a small, like you would think, well, who would be stupid enough to believe their bullshit? You'd be surprised. When I first started training, no joke, fresh out of the military, I see Jay Cutler. And I'm literally, I'm at Teriyaki Madness, which is a restaurant, and it's got the Jay Cutler bowl, which is like a double portion of chicken, beef, and whatever the other one is, and it's extra broccoli. And I'm like, fucking Jay Cutler bowl, look at the size of this thing. And I'm reading his leg workout, literally his leg workout at Muscle and Fitness. And I started doing that shit. And after 2 weeks of doing Jay Cutler's leg routine, I couldn't walk. And I was like, how can anybody train like this? And the guy next to me in the gym says, well, yeah, he's on steroids. And I'm like, whoa, what does that mean? Like, I'm that naive. I'm a retard. Explain to me this steroids you speak of. I know what steroids are. I'm not a moron. I was in the military for whatever, how 8 years, 6 months, and there are plenty of guys that use gear, but I didn't have any experience with it, so I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know that there was a difference in the way you train and the way all that shit. And then I realized, because I had honestly believed that if I ate Jay Cutler's bowl and I followed his workouts and I did everything he did, after 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I'm going to look just like that guy. Not knowing that it is virtually impossible to look anything like Jay Cutler unless I've trained for 20 years and used enough drugs to kill an elephant. Okay, fine. But my point is that there's a lot of young kids, men, that don't know that you can't achieve something without the use of exogenous hormones. So they will buy into the bullshit and they'll buy the stupid programs and they'll buy the magazines and they'll buy the dumb training equipment and they'll buy the super expensive supplements and they'll waste more money than they pay for rent trying to look like somebody when all they need to do is go see Hector on the job site and get him to hook you up with some bathtub trend that he made last week. And that would be a lot cheaper and a lot faster. Do I want that for anybody? No, I just want people to have good information. Does that make sense? Like, I don't care if who says, oh, you're not natural. Like, no shit, dumbass. I don't give a fuck. I'm 50 years old. I apologize for nothing. What do you want me to do? Just sit on my couch and rot? Or maybe I could start golfing? Hell no. That's not how we roll. But I just want people to know, like, hey, this is the truth. This is what you're getting into. This is what the problems are going to be. And I, for the most part, don't think that anybody who hasn't worked out and tried to achieve a natural physique and get really strong on their own without the use of anything should do that first before they even consider putting something into their body, which is going to permanently change them in their endocrine system and lead to side effects and a bunch of downstream shit that could shorten their lifespan and nothing good. And for what? To look a little bit bigger? If that's your goal? Like, why would you do that to yourself? Gorilla takes steroids. Hey, hell yeah. I'm a vanilla gorilla. Peter, thanks, brother. Sorry, I missed some comments here. I got my soapbox out. I bet this guy stares in the mirror 4 hours out of his day. Yeah, I do, David. It's usually like, you pathetic piece of shit. Look at you. Your mother doesn't love you. You need to work harder, you piece of garbage. Rubbing lipstick. You love me now, mommy? Aren't any of them scared of exogenous use of steroids and the side effects, mainly heart attack, shortened lifespan, stroke? Arrowverse. Yeah, but it's like anything else. If you tell me this is bad for you, like smoking cigarettes, okay, smoke these cigarettes, you're gonna die of lung cancer. May or may not happen. When? I don't know. 10 years from now, 20, 30, 40, whatever. Drinking's bad for you. Your liver might fail. I think that the chances of your liver failing from excess alcohol use is about on par with the dangers of the average steroid taker. Hell, you could die from acetaminophen. You could poison yourself with Tylenol. I mean, look up deaths related to Motrin and Tylenol. Just type that in Google, and you think like, oh my God, I'll never take Tylenol again. My point is, there is I believe, a safe way to minimize risk and deploy. It's Western medicine. I do believe that there's good case uses for exogenous hormones. For a lot of men, it can really improve their quality of life. And if you're smart about it, you can do it safely. Like for me, you said the number one thing that kills men my age is blood pressure. Well, what do I measure every morning? The first thing I do is check my blood pressure. What's my standing heart rate? My target's 170 over 20. Where am I? If that starts creeping up, we've got problems. I look for things like, we get our blood work done every six to 8 weeks. And we monitor things. We don't just get testosterone done. We don't just get hormone blood work. We actually get like regular checkups where they check your uh, organ functions. They test for things like creatine in your urine, which is a sign of kidney failure. They look for things like your triglycerides and your cholesterol levels and things of that nature. So if you're smart and you keep an eye on it, it can do a lot of people a lot of good. An example that I like to use would be Peyton Manning when he broke his neck and he came back to win the Super Bowl. Well, he didn't win the Super Bowl. It was more his team that did that, but he was on the team and he got his ring. Well, are you going to tell me that it was a bad thing that he took human growth hormone and probably some peptides and probably some, anabolics to strengthen that up and get healthy? And then, in the off season, he did some cycles. And then when he came back, everybody just said, there's no way you come back from a broken neck like that at his age. No, he probably had some help. Are you going to tell me it's a bad thing? That I can heal myself from injuries and, things of that nature and have a better quality of life? Or I can still, do the things that I love to do well past the age where my dad and my grandpa would have had to have hung it up a long time ago? It's all about quality of life. It's not the number of years you live, but the number of years you live. I don't want to just sit on my couch and watch fucking reruns of Howdy Doody. I actually want to. I have young kids. I want to be out there playing with them. Yeah. The best I ever felt in my life, Paul, was on 250 a week of test. Yeah, that's actually what I started out with 200. Which is a cycle. I think 200 is about the cutoff of what you would get prescribed naturally. Normally, not naturally. Do you recommend prostate checks? It's a really awkward procedure. Yeah, yes, it is. But yes, 100%. It's definitely like you get over the age of 40 or 50, you want to get that screening. Do not get that colonoscopy. Like, it sucks, but get it done, man. You don't want to get prostate cancer. And here's the other thing. People think that exogenous hormones are carcinogenic and they cause cancers, and that's not true. The studies that we've read, it's misleading because what it does is if you already have cancers in your body, it accelerates them. So you might have the beginnings of some form of cancer, and if you started taking testosterone, it'll basically blow that up. So you definitely want to get screened for that stuff. Nothing is risk-free. There is no such thing as zero risk. There are dangers to everything. But we can do a lot to mitigate that risk. And I think that, that's personal. Like, why would I want to take that risk at my age? Well, because I really think that I'm going to become a Hall of Fame powerlifter and I'm going to break some records. I'm going to compete in March and I'm willing to do that. If it was just to look better and play with my kids, I don't need to do any of that shit. I could just cut down another 20 pounds and continue to do Muay Thai training and we'd be right as rain. Hayden Reed, there we go. I'm truly amazed. L. Manchild, oh, whoa. Are you stronger than Brian Dobson, the owner of Metroflex in Arlington, Texas? You guys are about the same age. He sounds really familiar. Is that where Cephas works out? Brian Dobson. I'm going to say yes, I am, just because according to the rankings and powerlifting, his name's not on the list. I don't know if he competes, but I was ranked number one. So, I finished 2024 with the number one ranking for my age and weight. That being said, oh yeah, no, this guy's awesome. Everybody knows who he is. Yeah, I actually do think I'm stronger than him, but I would be really interested to talk to him and see where our lifts compare. Um, I don't think he's training like I am. I don't think he's putting in the effort to be as strong as I am. But I probably would imagine that if he wanted to, he could. Kung Fu's better. That's true. Let's see. Tips for shoulder pain for chest days. Oh, on that note, I'm going to do a lift for you, PJ Max. So I'm training with the Camber bar here. You see they got this little 4-inch extended range of motion. And I'm doing what's called lengthened partials. Now, this is not much weight on the bar. I have right around like a 410-pound bench, and that's 35, 50, that's 185 pounds. And I got these blocks, so we have a 4-inch incline on the bench. So 4-inch incline, 4-inch increased range of motion. And normally when I do a powerlifting bench press, you press from your solar plexus, right? Well, with this bar, I'm bringing it up here, so it's more of a guillotine press. Now, why do you want to do that? Well, what I'm focused on is stretching everything, fullest range of motion. And I want to condition my shoulders in that compromised position so that I will bulletproof them for when I'm lifting heavy. And this is, I would say, the bulk of what I do. Now, there are some other lifts I do on top of this for this specifically to strengthen my shoulders. This is all preventative lifting right here. So when I do those, I'm really focused on just like feeling the stretch, feeling it, because you want to start light with these. PJ Max, I like your name. Yeah. The coconut milk. What if I only have a straight barbell? So PJ Max. Okay. Well, you can still create yourself a little bit of an incline. Doesn't have to be much, 4 to 6 inches. And you're going to do what's called a guillotine press. Meaning, you're going to take a little bit of a wider grip and you're going to aim that barbell for right about where your clavicle is, which is going to cause a really, really deep stretch. Then there's another behind the neck press I want to show you. I also do on top of this. Matter of fact, I can show you right now. This is just a 1-inch barbell. But I like to do what's called the Hansen press, which is a compromise. Let's see. You want to get a nice shoulder stretch. And I would start with a broom handle, something really light. And we're going for that whole range of motion. See how wide my hands are? Now, what's really, really cool about that lift, that's called the Hansen press, is it also is great for shoulder hypertrophy. So if you're trying to build your shoulders up, that's a great lift. It works the whole range of motion of the shoulders. Arnold presses are good. Anything that extends your range of motion, think of it more along the lines of, it doesn't matter what lift you're doing, try to do full range of motion. So curls, you want to really get that arm stretched out. Chest press machine, no. You have access to dumbbells. Perfect. Perfect. You can just do dumbbells. Stretch it out. Dumbbells are better than this. I just like using this because as a power lifter, it's specificity. You know, it's mirroring the motor pattern that I need for competition. But dumbbells, you can get even more creative. You can rotate the grip. You know, you can come up here if you want. You really stretch, you know, like, you know, what are we talking about? You're laying down, you're really just stretching that out. All directions. Just start light. The lighter you start, and as you progress, you will bulletproof everything. Advice for screwed up back. Yeah. Oh, hold on, wait. Let me see here. Chest press machine, then do dumbbell press, dumbbell fly. Yeah. My recommendation, matter of equipment. Yes. So he basically says the same thing I do. Now, Arrowverse. Advice for a screwed up back. Recurring back injury. Back gets injured. Well, let me ask you this. Where are you injured? Like, is it the L5 area? What kind of injury are you talking about? Let's start with that. Oh, also, if any of you guys like my silly banter, hit subscribe. I'm trying to get to 6,000. I'm so close. Brody Thompson. What's good? What's up, Brody? Is benching 160 good for weighing 120? It's a good start. You weigh 120 pounds? And you're benching 160? Yeah, that's really good. Thank you for the info. PJ, hit me up on Instagram. We can get more in depth. Because, I mean, I blew my shoulder out. So I have some other stuff to help you rehab. I mean, we could talk for hours. But essentially, those are the two main lifts I do. Now, for a screwed up back, there are some very, very specific lifts I do because I had back surgery. I had 50 stitches across my L5. I got screwed up sciatica. I had to learn to walk again. Like, I had severe back injuries and not lifting related. But I have some very specific lifts for bad back. But I need to know what's wrong with your back before I can prescribe them. Does that make sense? Only 14. Good Lord, Brody. You're getting it done, brother. Holy crap, I need to get you out here to work out with my son. Good bench. I would recommend bulking for you. I think you could go places. Brody Thompson. Yeah, you know, I don't know. It's just me talking. It's dad. When I hear 14, I'm thinking my son. He's 13. You're still going through puberty, so it's like, you know, because my son, he was talking about bulking, and I said, no, don't bulk. Just focus on getting stronger. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to grow into it. He's like, well, how do I get big like you? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, like, I'm an old gorilla, dude. Like, why is the silverback gorilla huge and the younger gorillas aren't as big, but they can still whip his ass? I don't know. So mid-back, is that, do you know the number of the segments? Are you familiar with the physiology of the back? You would say like up in here in between your lats, or is it more down where your straps are going into your where would you say? So it's like, because mid-back's a little bit different. I think I would lift that'd be perfect for you if it's a mid-back. You witch. I'm not going to cut or bulk, just getting stronger like you said. Hell yeah. Yeah, keep at it, Brody. Keep us posted. I'd love to keep up with your progress for sure. Small bulk is good. Your body has fuel for growth. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I just just makes me nervous endorsing it. Peyton, what's up? I have lumbar strains. And semi-regularly. Lumbar strains. What color is underwear? Well, I'm not wearing underwear, but my shorts are kind of I actually think it's weird that they put teeth around the crotch. I don't know why they did that. But, I don't know. These are pretty cool. They got you could insert like a cup in this. It's got like a little pouch for getting kicked in the ding ding if you're doing pugilism. Mid, back, near to lats. All right, so Arrowverse, stick with me. I'm going to finish the exercise I'm doing here, and then we're going to get off into a movement specifically for you. So let me get this. If you want to look it up online, it's called the Jefferson curl, but I'm going to demonstrate it for you. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to run the bathroom real quick. Alright, so, oh shit. So the last set we did with the camber up, I'm going to flip this around, and that's actually going to create a shortened range of motion, and we're going to do a set what's like a Spoto press. Actually, for this I can go up and weight level. Ooh, that's a good pump after doing the stretch ones. Let's see. Trying to catch up with the chat here. What board meeting do they think that was a good idea? Oh, L5. Okay, Ben. They know what they were doing. Let me put the teeth there. Georgie, what's up, brother? 225 on the bar, yes. So Kevin, yeah, I do have the bar upside down, but I did the first set flipped, so you get extended range of motion, and then I flip the bar and do shortened range of motion. So I'm focusing on the bottom doing partials, and then the top, if that makes sense. Avoid unnecessary profanity so YouTube doesn't hold your comment. Oh, did it? Hold on, wait. This message was held for review. I sharded The F is going on here. Yeah. Let's see here. Any other ones? It's a great name. I sharded. Yeah, Kevin. Welcome, by the way. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to compete in March, powerlifting. And I'm doing a conditioning block right now. So I'm focused on really bulletproofing the shoulders. So I have a 4-inch incline on the bench, which just raises it up a little bit. And then I use the Camber bar to increase the range of motion to get that really nice stretch. And I work in that compromised position. And then I'll flip it around and do like a Spoto press. And we're just taking sets to failure, so they look like sets of like 20. The Bacon God, what is up? That's a great name. Just got done working the heavy bag. Awesome. I'm about to hit mine here in a minute. Stephen Jr., do you even get angry? It takes a lot to get me mad. I don't take myself seriously. Yeah. Oh, what did Kevin say? Kevin's cool. Did we block another comment or something? I didn't see anything. Oh, yes. Thank you, Arrowverse. So what do you do for a screwed up back? So, this is my number one go-to deadlift physical therapy movement. Absolutely must do if you're going to have a large deadlift and you expect to have any kind of longevity, you must do this lift. And I think everyone should do them anyways. So from an elevated platform, I'm standing at an angle here. It doesn't have to be a bench, 14 inches roughly. We're going to do a deadlift where we're going to round the back and try to pop each segment individually. And when we come up, we're going to bring the shoulders through, and then we're going to start the process in reverse. We're going to let the weight drag each segment of the back and then stretch us. So what is that going to look like? It doesn't have to be super heavy either. That's 40. That's 70 pounds. Now now keep in mind, I deadlift 700 pounds. So that's 70 pounds. Where's my handle? I'm going to work without the handle. Oh, here it is. So for you, this might look like 20 pounds. 10, 15, 20. So just enough to get you. You start light with these. Your feet about shoulder width. Try to hinge when you come over. So we want to keep the hamstrings straight. We'll start in the upright position. So we're just going to let the weight pull, like the arms are dead. And I'm pulling my back, almost like an inversion table. And I'm going to let the weight drag me past my feet. Really stretch the back out. Holy shit, this sucks. And I'm going to reverse the process. And we're going to do like 5 to 10 of these. Stretch, 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 stretch. And you're going to do those. Do them light. And really focus on the stretch. Phew. Aaron, hey, Double Dog. I got a minor pec tear 5 months ago. Still haven't been able to get it healed. Shit. That's tough, man. So because you have work, you can't take time off. What kind of work do you do? Like, what sort of lifting do you have to do on a daily basis? Loading trailers. So you have to pick stuff up. You have a pec tear. Where's it torn at? Is it here in the shoulder? Is it closer to the sternum? Like, where are we talking? Like, where are you torn? 700, holy shit. Dude, I hit 710 for a double with the trap bar the other day. What gets your triceps the sorest? Close grip, heavy guillotine presses. Bam. Because you can put a lot of weight on them. Or weighted dips. Thought it was dangerous for the spine. No, you got to think of it differently, Jeffrey. This is to help your spine. So, would it be dangerous if you grabbed a bunch of weight and tried to do that? Hell yeah. Start light, body weight even, just enough you want enough weight to pull you, to stretch you past your toes. For me, 50, 60, 70 pounds is light. It's nothing. For Christina, my wife, it's probably going to be 10, 15 pounds. And then, yes, you do want to work up, so you do want to progress, because as you progress, when you're training in compromised positions, starting light and progressing will bulletproof you. So everybody says that when I use the Camber bar to bench and I'm all stretched out and I'm in a weird position, or if I have dumbbells and I go as deep as I can, they're like, oh, you're going to blow your shoulders out. No, that's how you rehab your shoulders. You got to start light and work up. Understanding that you're putting yourself in a compromised position to strengthen yourself at that compromised position. Does that make sense? Where are the training shorts from? I got them at one of the UFC shops out here in Vegas. They're stationed out here in Vegas, so you can just go down the strip, and they've got a ton of like. Do you remember what was the Couture, Randy Couture, and they have Syndicate, and what's the other one? They used to have a whole bunch of them. Now it's mostly Reebok. Start light, stretch position, get it. No, I the reason why it seems like I'm maybe beating a dead horse is because I gotta get people to change the mindset of, when they see me doing these lifts and they're like, oh, that's gonna hurt, you're gonna blow your shoulders out. It's like, no, dude. Yes, it would. If you just put a bunch of weight on the bar and tried to do this lift specifically, you would absolutely hurt yourself. But I started with the barbell. Literally just the barbell is what I started with. And I worked on that stretch and started adding up. This is on top of the normal bench press I do. So I'm doing 2 bench days a week. Your body has 3 options with lifting. Tony G. Did injure or adapt. You apply progressive overload to adapt each variable. Correct. Yes, Tony. And then, you know what really got me into physical therapy, Tony? I actually hurt myself a couple times to where I couldn't walk, and the other one where they said I was done. I wouldn't be able to bench again. And I really started digging into, well, how does a person in my age who's on PEDs make it so that my body isn't so fragile? Like, as strong as I am, it just wants to fly apart. It's like putting 1,000 horsepower motor into a Ford Festiva without beefing up the drivetrain. You know what I mean? It's like the freaking wheels are going to fly off the thing. So what do we need to do to make the body resilient to injury? And the answer is focus more on training that stuff than you do heavy lifting. So when I go heavy, it's 10% of my training. The rest of it, if you watch any of my videos, 90% of my videos are me doing stupid physical therapy lifts or combat sports training. So I would say the heavy lifting is the smallest percentage of what I do. And it's the most fun, and it's what people come to my channel for. They want to see me squat 650 pounds. But I don't squat heavy that often. I'm doing like this shit. What do you do for lower back pain as well? So now we're talking about like, you got the lift, you got the Jefferson curl, but my other go-to, you know what? All right, since we're in the mood for physical therapy, I've got a little bit of time left. We're going to switch gears and we're going to do some physical therapy lifting. I want to impart you guys on some stuff that you can do right now at your house that's really going to help. I'm running out of time, and rather than bench press, which I can do at any time I want, maybe we'd be better served to do some of this stuff. So, lower back pain's a bitch, let me tell you. We got a kettlebell. So, your L5 is your issue. Probably sciatica. They won't hurt themselves if someone lift. Mason Fountain, can I get a shout out? What's up? Thank you for the honesty. Thanks for joining me, Kevin. I appreciate it. I injured my shoulder severely twice. I'm able to bench again because of rehab exercises I learned on YouTube. Stick with me, Jeffrey. I got some good shoulder ones because I blew mine out too. Tony G, I'm 20, started lifting at 14, but obsessed with learning from the higher up athletes. Each sport principle applies. My mobility work comes directly from work like this. Jefferson curls. Yes, and I would feel remiss if I didn't give you some other stuff on top of the Jefferson curls that really, really helped me. So, how many of you guys following me in the stream can unassisted get in an ass-to-grass position? Is this something doable for most people? We're basically essentially just stretching, pushing my elbows out, and I could just sit, I could just sit here all day. If I'm doing work or something, cleaning the dishes, this is not a problem. Can we do that? Can you get in an ass-to-grass position? Let's start with that. Because if not, we want to work our way into that. That's something that's important. Let's see here. Get this out of the way. Actually, I do need this. Oh, and don't be afraid of training aids. If you've got knee pain, like me being 50, sometimes shit just hurts. Yes, what do you do for knee pain? I'm like, I don't know, you tell me, man. So, a little support. Where's my other one? There's nothing wrong with. I've had a couple of knee surgeries, so I get pain right where my meniscus is. And I find that if I just put a little strap across the patella, it just helps. It helps with mobility. All right, so you guys can get ass to grass. Are you on HRT or something? Because I'm 42, my levels are 612. Kevin, those are good levels natural. 612 is right in the middle. Boom, bullseye. Yes, I am on. I'm on more than HRT. I take test and DHB. I'm a competitive powerlifter, so I'll be competing in March. But I actually think DHB is like great for guys our age. I think it's a miracle drug. So Jeffrey, just tried that. My inner groin muscles are tight as fuck. So what I would suggest is finding as deep as you can go where it's comfortable And if you need to sit on something like a stool, you know, or something you can lower, obviously. But hey, whatever your range of motion is, if it's this is where you're starting, this is where we're starting from. That's fine. Go to where it's uncomfortable but not painful. So if I can go this deep and it starts to hurt, this is my starting point. Does that make sense? Anybody have a problem with that concept? Because we're going to work our way deeper. 42, 3 heart surgeries. Do you do a lot of cardio, Kevin? That's what kind of, like, bypass surgeries? Knee sleeves are great for the ligaments protection through the deepest knee flexion position. I do use sleeves normally, especially for lifting, something like this. But for just body weight stuff, like really quickly, I found that these are perfect. Just throw them on, you know what I mean? I can't back squat with BB without back pain causing it easier. Bulgarian split squats are fine. So I'm specifically for you, Arrow. This is where I'm going. This next movement's for you. Let's see. Message deleted. What do we got here? Yeah. Can I get a dub from a doctor? Sounds easy enough. All right. So we're going to do what's called the horseshoe squat. Now, why is that? Back pain. Most men over the age of 40, we're talking like 4 out of 10 men suffer from grade 1 in their L5 from sitting, just doing this. Compound, so that what that is where your back starts to curve off, your L5, the disc starts to slip a little bit. That is normal. 4 out of 10 men, regardless of whether they train over the age of 40, have a grade 1 in their L5. That's your sciatic nerve. That's your lower back pain. So we want to alleviate some of that and start working. You've got your piriformis, you got your gluteus minimus, gluteus maximus, and hey, Christina, what's the third one called? My wife's a microbiologist, and she's also a sports therapist. What do you call it? Board certified massage therapist, and she's my anatomy expert. But you got 3 muscles in your glutes, and then underneath that you got your sport muscles. You got your piriformis, and then to lift your leg, you have the rectus femoris coming off of your what do they call that on the top of the hip? She knows the names of all this shit. Anyways, we want to open all that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to point my feet as straight out as possible, and I want to squat as deep into it as I can. This is called a horseshoe squat. And over time, we want to work out farther, almost like you're doing the splits. Now, the natural tendency is the body wants to bend over. So we're going to introduce weight because it forces us to be upright. What's that going to look like? Put your feet out wide, and we're going to go as deep as we can. We just want to open up the hips. And once we've opened up the hips, this is going to look like 2 or 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Now, once we've opened up the hips, we want to address the lower back. Assuming we did the Jefferson curls. Phew. I'm having problems breathing today. I'm all stuffed up. What did Mark say? Mark the mall cop. Behave. Palumboism. Oh, no. Palumboism is it's a gut from growth hormone and insulin abuse. I have let me catch my breath. I can't breathe, man. I'm all stuffed up. No, I'll show you. I don't mind. So, first I'm wearing a belt. But so what I have is called diastasis recti, which is a split. And if I don't suck my gut in, it sticks out. But Palumboism is like he can't suck his gut in. Like he's got permanent overgrowth of the organs. I've never taken human growth hormone, so it would be impossible for me to have that condition. I'm just a 50-year-old dude that gets bloating. But I appreciate you pointing it out. Thank you. Not that. God, I love the internet. Most people don't even know what Palumboism is. The ones that say that people have it don't even know what it is. I have a beer belly, 3 sons, and a daughter. Well, I mean, if I suck my gut in, I'm perfectly ripped. And the reason I wear this belt is because of that surgery I had, which you can see the scar. It's across my back. So I wear that belt as a brace. But, like, you know, like I'm perfectly... I just don't suck it in. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to walk around like that, like... No, Mark's fine. I don't care. Just like he's being a dick, but whatever. Yeah. You get to our age, right? Like, does it matter? I'm not a bodybuilder. I never claimed to be. I'm a powerlifter. So, anyways, thanks for the distraction. So we got the... Does anybody have questions on horseshoe squats? What they do, what they're for? Because the next one's going to be a little bit of a doozy. It's called Zercher Good Morning. So we've got our Jefferson curls, horseshoe squats. Now we're going to move on to what's called the Zercher Good Morning. Why is it called the Zercher? Because normally I would hold a barbell across my arms and do them this way, but you can also hold a weight. So if you just got a dumbbell and you want to hold it like a dumbbell, I don't know, you could hold it here, or you could put a weight across your arms and do them that way. And you're like, what are you talking about? Let me show you. So, Zercher Good Mornings are exactly what they sound like. You take a barbell and with a slightly pigeon-toed stance, you want to stick your butt out like you're trying to bounce somebody. And you try to touch your toes and let the weight, just like the Jefferson curl, pull you down. And then again, curl up. Now when you start getting really heavy, you come down straight. You can kind of deadlift it up if you have to. Now, if you don't want to use a barbell, you can also hold the weight. Same thing. It's just a little harder. Or it might be easier for some people. But it's a little more of an arm workout. That's 3. Do you have any questions on those 3 movements so far? Oh, I love Zerchers. Love them. Regular old Zerchers where you just squat. Good mornings. I've got a question. How do you build speed and explosiveness? I don't much. Speed for sprinting. Damn it, I got to get you here on squat and deadlift day. So, how do you say your name? Is how light. I need glasses. Is how light. Okay. Injuries come from the inability to adapt to the load you're using. If you jump to these lifts for the first time in your life and push on it, yes, start light. Light, get a good, don't be afraid to reach out for assistance. Video it, put it on Instagram, say, hey, check this out. Tell me if my form's good. Put it on YouTube. You guys can post videos on YouTube. If for no other reason, you can keep them private so I can look at them. No problem. Generating force. So you're a sprinter, right? Sprinting is what we do. Nothing will improve your sprint more than heavy ass barbell squats. But more specifically, you want to do what's called the dynamic box squat. Dave Tate, Elite FTS. What is the dynamic box squat? Again, you can do these with a barbell, which is how I normally do them. Or if I hold on to weight. But essentially, when you do a box squat, you would touch the box, right? And then you squat off of it. Box squat, right? Simple, easy, anyone can do it. What's the point? What did you even have that there for? Is it to assist you? Most people do, they got a load on their back, they rest on the box, which compresses their spine. No, we actually use this to increase force generation. You got the load on your back. You're going to do a really slow 1, 2, 3, and you're going to break the stretch reflex up. What is the stretch reflex? That's where you bounce out of the hole. 1, 2, 3, and you're going to lean slightly forward and fire off the box like you're trying to jump through the ceiling. You should see that weight bounce off your shoulders. One, 2, 3, fire. I do these with 500 pounds on my back. One, 2, 3, fire. 2, 3, fire. Every single rep should be faster than the last. How do you know? I'm going to tell you. You're going to go online and you're going to download a barbell tracker. I'm going to type it in the comments right here. WL analysis. ANALYSIS. SIS. This is the app I use. You're going to set your camera up on the side where your barbell is, and you're going to film yourself. And this app is going to track the barbell, and it's going to check to make sure your path is straight, and it's going to show you the force you generate when you go up and down, the whole 9 yards. It'll tell you everything you need to know to have all the metrics for velocity, force generation, everything. You're a sprinter. You're looking to get faster. So what do you want to see? You want to see power coming off the force curve. Barbell tracker works for deadlifts, works for squats, works for bench, works for any barbell lift. Explosiveness. You want to generate it? So what is progressive overload? Each rep should be heavier than the last. In your case, you're a sprinter. Each rep should be faster than the last. So progression for you is going to be the increase of weight and speed. Does that make sense? So when you're working out, you want to see that every rep's faster than the last, and a barbell tracker will absolutely help you do that. And it's free. You can download it right now. I paid the $10 and upgraded it. Dude straight up said he's not natty. No, God Lord, no. And I'm not embarrassed by it either. I'm proud of the work I've done. Look, you guys can talk all the shit you want, but you are literally looking at the #1 lifter over 50 in my weight class in the world. All federations. This jerk working in his garage finished with the highest ranking of 2024. It ain't nothing. I think I was 13th. I finished 13th all weight classes. You know, this is over 50, so, you know, we're talking old fuds. All right. I had almost a 1,700 pound total, though. I mean, that's not nothing. That's competitive with the younger guys, I think. Let's see, are those sparring boxers? Yes. S. Palladino. Thank you for not... You're the first person that recognized them for what they are. They are MMA, yeah. I actually have Muay Thai ones, but I don't know. I get a lot more comments when I wear these, though. WL analysis, yes. Started powerlifting around 40, yes. U.S. Marine, Royal Marine, Simon, what's up? Semper Fi, brother. I don't know what the Royal Marines saying are, but as far as I'm concerned, you guys chewed the same dirt we did. We were there together, my friend. Cool, but shouldn't you aim more for longevity at this stage of your life? Well, I am, T. Coco. What are we talking about? All this stuff is physical therapy, lifting. Like, you should be doing this shit. You want to live a long, healthy life, you should be doing everything I'm doing, with maybe the exception of the extremely heavy lifting. Now, the question I have, when people ask me, like, shouldn't you be focused on longevity? I don't know. Do you have any passions? Do you have something that you love doing? And I love powerlifting, and I'm still progressing, so it's like, why would I quit? And tomorrow's promised to nobody anyways. I mean, it would kind of suck to have to just give up and say, you know what, you're too old, just go back and fucking die in a hole. And nothing is completely safe, so I'm not going to even try to pretend to say that what I'm doing is risk-free. No. I've gotten some bad injuries, you know, and all of them were preventable. They were stupid. I got injured because I was dumb, I was careless, I wasn't paying attention, and it can happen to anybody. But I do think that I take a great deal of effort to mitigate risk, you know, really try to make it as safe as it can be, understanding that nothing's risk-free, you know. How many McChickens can you eat? Probably 6, I would think, maybe 8. You could die in a car crash. You really could, especially here in Vegas. Holy shit. Exile ZO, do you take any supplements? Yeah. All the doctor prescribed ones aside, the ones we take daily are your really common ones. I think everyone should take magnesium. Everyone should take zinc. Everyone should take vitamin D3. Everyone should take V vitamins to specifically include vitamin B3 and B12. I don't think they get enough of those in their diet. And those, like, if you ever get a blood test done and you're low, or rather high in vitamin D, if you're ever high in vitamin D, chances are it's because you're low in B vitamins, because there's a process downstream of that helps the body absorb and use that. Same thing with, like, calcium. So if you're ever, like, high or low in a certain vitamin, you got to see what the process is behind the body's ability or inability to absorb it, and then you can find out what the root cause of your issues are. So we do a lot of that. That's my wife, thank God bless her, she's going to school for microbiology, and she's got she's way more knowledgeable when it comes to disseminating literature than I am. The message is held for review. Let's see what this one says. You love the D. Okay, thank you. Hey, Ron, thank you. Let's see what this one says. Oh, yeah. Oh, so we got another. Oh, come on. If you're going to be rude, at least be clever. Like, say something funny. Exile, ZO. You're welcome. Yeah, I try to respond to everybody. No, you're good. You're good, brother. I love the name, by the way. Hey, Ron. You've done this too many times, Zoid. It's not very funny anymore. Yeah, I know. It's just like, I don't understand what point he's trying to make. I think he's under the impression that I feel bad about it. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would I feel bad about something that I've chosen to do? You take drugs. Do you take Tylenol? Do you take Motrin? Do you go to the doctor? Do you have any prescriptions whatsoever? Like, if you tell me that you don't see a doctor and you don't participate in Western medicine and you don't take anything for anything, not even Tylenol, then you have room to criticize my choices. What's this one say here? When I get my dick out, everyone laughs. Well, YouTube's holding that comment back. That sucks. I don't know why your message got deleted, but that wasn't me. Yes, my cardio sucks. She's in the chat. T.I. ask her. T.I. You mentioned you're married. Does your wife work out as well? Yes. Yes, she does, T. And she's also on HRT. Damn right. We believe in Western medicine in this house. Actually, you know what, though? She's more into holistic healing, to be honest with you. I call her a hippie with a handgun. You hitting the heavy bag now. You know what? I might as well. I'm going to show you what I learned in class. And then, hey babe, are you still wanting to go out back and hang out with the chickens? We actually like to just go. We have like a couch thing in the backyard, and just hang out, and like right around sundown, like what you see is right now, and just play with the chickens. It's just fun. I can bring the camera back there if you want. You could live stream chickens. Chinchy McProppers sent flour for 30 joules. I don't know what that means, but I really appreciate it. Yes, please. I need to walk. All right. So what'd you miss, sweetheart? I asked if you wanted to go back with the chickens. I was joking, and I said I could bring the camera back and we could live stream. But I was going to hit the bag for a few minutes. I already did horseshoe squats, so it should be pretty limber. That's the other thing is if you want to stretch out for like kicks, this is my head height. You just want to, the horseshoe squat's really good for stretching the hips out without having to like really get into splits or doing any like fancy stretching. I brought in my rooster. They kicked me out. Oh, who kicked you out? Can I get mod? I don't know you, Lil T. Have you been in the chat before? I was just wondering if you work out as well. She does. I'll let you talk to her. She's in the chat. So, okay, this is interesting that you word it this way. T.I. Coco says, so when it comes to HRT, do you guys take it in a controlled environment with professional supervision? Are you asking if it's like a doctor stares at you when you stick a needle in your ass? No. But Everything is doctor controlled. So you can actually go to our clinic. If you want to go to the very same clinic we use, it is Helix HRT. They're based here in Las Vegas, but they have online. And they'll get you started. They'll do your blood work. They'll do the workups. They'll do everything. Nothing is under the table. There's no bathtub trend. There's no drugs from Hector on the job site. Although I could do that. If they prescribe everything, they do all the monitoring. And ask me how I know I can get it from Hector on the job site. All right. Oh, what did Max say? George. Uh-oh. George is getting messages deleted. I'm never getting blocked again. Now, why did we block Georgie on that one? I'm never getting blocked again. What issue did we have with that comment? You look very stiff, but you let that one go. Like, what kind of stiff? Is in not limber because I'm not warmed up and I'm 50 years old, or because I got a what? What are we talking about? I think I gotta finally some random live that's actually doing something. Wow, thanks, RD, I think. Let's see, my chat's not keeping up here. What is going on? What is going on? Oh, here we go. I have to refresh it. Okay. I think he means your hair. Good luck with the training, boss. Oh, man. Stick around, brother. But hey, thanks for stopping by. Wow, bro. LOL. I needed a laugh. Let's see. Mario, I am his massage therapist. Take a hike. Jeffrey Quinn is this. I didn't see what the joke was, but we're all just joking around here. Nobody takes anything too seriously. Go to a Chinese spa and get a massage. They got plenty of those here in town, let me tell you. Oh, what's up? Semper Fi, Jonathan Carey. Bam. How's the badminton training going? Oh, man, we actually have oh, thank you for reminding me. We got a net we need to put up. George, one time in the hospital in front of my girlfriend, the nurse came into my room and was like, "Sir, we need to check your bunghole." And I was like, "Okay," and he checked and said, "All good." That's a really super cool story, George. I thought banning George for 10 seconds was funny. He usually gets bent out of shape. I feel bad for the guy. Happy continuation with your training. Thanks, T. I appreciate it. Can you not see my messages? I don't see. I have, let's see. I have joined a bit on your old lives in my other account, but my account got suspended. What was your name on the other account? DJBMRE. What biceps exercises do you do? Are they symmetrical? I'll let you be the judge. I think they are. Let's see. You guys see them there? They look pretty good. I got that little cool little, like, I don't know what that is, but I always thought that was kind of cool. Good night, sweetheart. I don't do a lot of specific curls, like isolation. I do a lot of pulls, like rowing, deadlifting, pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, things like that nature. And I do an excessive variety of pulling movements, but I don't really do a lot of specific bicep isolation movements. Let's see, this message was held for review. I had sex with my wife. First heart surgery, they came in with the crash cart. Whew, that's rough, brother. I don't know why YouTube hid that, but TRT, not trying to be a dick. Stan, you asking me if I'm on TRT is completely fine. I mean, I put a pinned comment in my chat where I specifically said I'm not natural. So we don't mind that here. I'm on more than TRT. Not much though. I think I'm reasonably symmetrical, but I'm sure one's bigger than the other. Hey Della, what moves did they teach you in class? So they were doing like the, they were doing the step back and then teep, right? And they were having you like rip back and then the cross kicks.
It was like, 1, 2, switch, tip, step back, 3, 2, switch, little kick.
You like it when the switch, so maybe like
Yeah.
and then maybe step back or.
So basically, it was like, so we would switch, keep, and then we would just set it in front of us. That's all. So can I get back to playing?
You want to train with Dad for a little bit?
No,
Uh-oh.
is that okay? Do I have to?
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
My thing's coming out of the track.
Oh, that's not good.
See if I can pop it back in.
Okay, what do you do with that?
Fucking shitty ass Chinese garbage. It's Muay Thai. I did Taekwondo back in the day, a long time ago, when I was in my 20s. Pop this thing back in. It's got a little wheels in the trolley, and somehow popped off the track and was running the risk of it bending the unistrut. Sorry about that. I just can't. I bought this unistrut system so that my bags move. I got this one. La, 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 la. But this bag is too heavy. It's 160 pounds, and it's just too much on the track system. All right, where was I? Yes, I agree. Something can be used for self-defense when they get older. Definitely thinking about something about Christina and working on myself journey. Gather as much tips and knowledge as I can. Your wife never saw the Iron Sheik. Yo, she has. I guarantee if she saw the Iron Sheik, she would know who he was. Nice cake. Hell yeah. Thank you. He's a wealth of knowledge. I know you're not talking about me. Let's see. Matt, it's interesting that you asked the abs question. I'm not trying to be rude, I promise, but how are you able to still have abs even though your belly is big? You talking about me? I don't know. They're there. But, I don't walk around with them sucked in. I suppose posture's a little, because I kind of stand with bad posture, so if I straightened up a little better, probably help. I don't know. Yes, you dark. Alright, let's at least get 30 seconds of training in before I call it a day. Key to a good, powerful hook is the weight transfer. You think of the body like a pendulum, swinging left to right. So if your arm's right here, and it's just a push. I just go left to right. Now we use the arm to accelerate. Man. I'm just fucking everything up, Christina. Switch kicks. I'm awful at it. Hey. Yeah, my switching's not that good. I'm pretty new at it. That's why I'm practicing it. Need to turn my kicks over more? What are you talking about? What more would I need to do? Turn, right? That would break your leg. What more would I need to do to that? What are you fucking talking about? See, people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. My switching does need work. No, I'm what's called cross-dominant. So I do some things left and some right. Yeah, my switching is hard. I have a hard time with it. Let's see you at 50. I'm slow. Thanks, Ben. I'm actually reading everybody. I'm trying to answer, and I'm like, nah, it ain't that bad. When you kick, move your posting foot to the outside. How many Muay Thai fights have I had? None. How many kickboxing fights have I had? 5 or 6. How many boxing matches have I had? 10. How old am I? 50. When's the last time you were in a boxing match? 25. It's been a few years. So, so you were saying, move your foot to the outside. What are you talking like? So target straight ahead. You talking step like this, so I'm driving straight into it. So we like ding, 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 and then like straight in like that. That was up mounds. Is that what you mean by when you say stepping outside? Thank you. Yeah, I just literally started training Muay Thai this week. Like literally like a week ago. But I did boxing. So did boxing a lot. I got a mean left. Well, I got really good hooks in general, but I'm not at the flying knees part yet, but they showed me. So I did some kickboxing, like Smokers League in the Marine Corps. That was in '96. So that's 2006. That's almost 20 years ago. And I'm going to, at the age of 50, prove that I can get into fighting shape. For no other reason than I just want to see if I can do it. Rodtang, yeah, he's really good. So this Muay Thai gym we are going to, it's called One Kicks, and they are the where's that card at? They're the headquarters of the organization that Sanchai and who's the other one? They have two famous kickboxers from Thailand at the top of the organization, and this is like the American version. But they're affiliated with that. So they have good masters. They're a UFC affiliate gym. Oh yeah, it's on the shirt. Where's No, but it doesn't say what is it? The US whatever it's called. Let me see. Let me look real quick. No. YouTube. Yeah. Why is it when you want to look at something, the YouTube's slow as hell? Your channel. Live. Training for the physical therapy Sunday. Oh, what the hell, man? Oh, here we go. Videos. What the fuck? First day of training. Hold on here. It is called. Let's see if I can see the sign. Oh yeah, USMTA Nevada headquarters. So what is USMTA? USMTA. USA Muay Thai, governing body for Muay Thai. Well, anyway, there's people from Thailand that are affiliated with the gym, and they come in. So like the organization's run by like real masters and professional fighters. It's not just like some, mom and pop gym that you like at the YMCA, that kind of thing. Like they have legitimate fighters at this place. So it's pretty cool. David G. Badr Harry, he was a beast at kickboxing. I think I knew who that is. Life is not fair. No, sir. Didn't you have long hair before? What define long hair? I don't think it's ever been more than a. Yeah. What is it? Shit my pants. What's up? Uh, at what age did you first touch a weight? Wow, God, who, Lord, I mean, it would have probably been, I would say, 19. But like first started seriously training, I was like 38, 37. Have you done any clinch work yet? Yes, but really basics. So they were teaching us like, you know, like I'm doing it wrong. Bam, bam, and then you get the underhand. I haven't been thrown yet. That's actually gonna happen on Thursday. They're gonna chuck my ass around. So I went in on a sparring day, and they had 12 people. 5 or 6 of them had my level of experience because I told them, I said I was boxing. I actually was training at a professional boxing gym for however long, and I take, we guys beat the shit out of me, and I can take hits and all that, and I know how to swing back. So I don't know much about footwork. And he said, well, we're gonna do touch sparring, and he's like, some of the guys hit harder than others. Nobody's trying to kill you, but you do need to wear a mouth guard. And I'm thinking, I go to the first couple of guys. The first one I went up was a girl, and she was good. She actually got me a few times. She snuck in a few uppercuts, and I was like, ooh, awesome. Then I went to this other guy, and he was really light. He was pulling his punches. He didn't even want to touch me. I think he was scared, terrified of me, even though I wasn't going to hit him back. Third guy, you can tell this guy trained for a while. He just starts fucking smacking me, and I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here? Every time I would throw like a kick, I would drop my hand like Taekwondo, and he just slapped me across the face, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I was laughing the whole time. This guy's just piecing me up, and he kept saying like, well, what's wrong? Am I hitting you too hard? Am I hitting you too hard, big guy? I'm like, no, we're good. He's like, what's wrong, pussy? You can't handle it? I'm like, no. Big tall dude from Morocco, 198 or something. Alberto Fleischer, the wishes worked. What'd you wish for, Alberto? Best way to gain weight for an athletic build. All right. Where is the fluffy chicken? I'll be there next Saturday on the 11th. Thursday at the 17th. Okay. 11th through Thursday through the 17th. Okay. If you need to make reservations, I will. Well, Christina's still bedridden, so. Well, she's not bedridden, but she hasn't been up and about yet, so hopefully by then we're going to be good to go. So, Ion, I don't know, like, you're catching me at the end of my stream, and I want to answer your question seriously. The easy thing to say is you got to eat, which is the answer. But, for some people that are hard gainers, you just can't pile enough food down. There is you might just want to start grinding on like Snickers bars and donuts and stuff. And people say, that's awesome. That's awful dietary advice. How can you tell someone to eat a bunch of candy bars? If you're the type of person and you just can't get any more calories down and eating is that much of a chore for you, and you're desperately trying to gain weight, there's nothing wrong with go ahead and throw a pint of ice cream in there, or just get some really high calorie food and start supplementing your diet. And yes, it's going to be junk food, because I can't think of anything that's got that is that calorie dense for the amount of the portion size, if that makes sense. And it sucks to say that, but that's what I would tell the hard gainers. I'm like, dude, go get some friggin' Snickers bars, man. You know what I mean? Eat McDonald's, yeah. This is the time where you can eat crap. Because you're working hard, you're trying to put weight on. Christina, that's how powerlifters drink. Drink olive oil. Ugh. Yeah. But no, for real, like, don't waste your money on those mass gainers, because that's all that is. It's just high calories. It's the same thing as buying candy bars. Kyron 1653. What's the question, brother? Kyron, Kiran. I'll answer your question, then I gotta go. When I work out in the gym, I feel like I have to eat ice cream or something. Yeah, eat peanut butter every chance you get. 1 tablespoon, 90 calories. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You just gotta figure, cook with olive oil, a lot of it. Yeah. What's the question, Kyron? Alberto Fleischer, this is great. Thank you. Scroll up my comment. Well, I said, hi, buddy, I have a question. Scroll up my comment. I don't see a third comment, unless I missed one. I don't see a comment from you, unless there's one that's hidden from YouTube. Scroll up my comment. You're going to have to ask again. I don't see a third comment, unfortunately. I don't know if YouTube blocked it. The Sam Sulek diet, yeah. George Jackson, I'll be there Saturday up the following Friday for 6 days. Messed up on the message. Definitely would like to hang out. Yeah, I know, George. We'll meet up. Absolutely, 100%. There is no other comment. I don't see a third one. I got to get going, though, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Next time, I'm going to have to train seriously next time, though. I kind of bailed on my bench because I wanted to help you guys with some physical therapy stuff, which is more fun anyways. All right, guys. I love y'all. I will see you on the battlefield.